On this episode of Taskforce Geek, we will be talking to our guest, comic writer and publisher Marrk Mulgrave, about his comic Spells and Superheroes. We'll have a complete wrap-up of our trip to Fan Expo in Dallas last weekend, and we have two special guests, so guard your loins. It's all coming up now. Welcome to Taskforce Geek. My name is Dirk Hooper, and today I am joined by Walt.
I'm guarding my loins right now.
That's right. It's good. It's good. It takes some time, apparently.
There.
And Beth. There's Beth.
My loins are already girded. We're good.
All right. Both of them were with us at Fan Expo this last weekend, and we have our guest.
Hello.
Which is Marrk Mulgrave, who goes by, if you watched this last weekend, or last Tuesday, he chimed in and said that he was Gingerton. But his real name is Marrk Mulgrave.
I think that's actually something we meant to discuss, right?
We did.
The actual pronunciation. It is Ginge, but I do go by Ginge.
Gingerton.
Correct.
I'm glad that we have cleared that up because, inquiring minds wanted to know. You can't just leave this stuff out there. It's settled.
Dirk. You've got problems, Dirk.
Uh-oh. Houston, we have problems?
Yeah, you're glitching.
I'm glitching already?
Now I'm glitching.
You guys don't look like you're glitching at all.
Maybe. Don't play with us, Mark.
Sorry.
Do it, Mark. Do it. Yes.
I think that the glitching's on your end, buddy. Ashelle says she's not even sure if she has loins. How does that work? We'll go to Beth. Beth, loins? No loins? What
Michelle, honey, you have loins.
Okay.
You have loins.
All right. I mean, I'm not a geologist or whatever does that.
Where do you find loins anyways? That's a good question.
Yeah. What exactly constitutes loins? I think it's a good question. We're supposed to have Mike Kennedy with us. Has anyone heard from Mike Kennedy?
I still haven't heard from Mike Kennedy.
All right, and we have two special guests that are coming. One of them coming in about 10 minutes, hopefully, and one of them that is supposed to be coming in about an hour from now. Jerry says some of us have to clarify our names. So there we go. That's the way it works.
It's not just me.
It's not just you. It's not just you. That's the nature of the internet.
Yes.
You have to clarify your names.
Yeah, my getting too old for this, it has to do with all the walking I did this weekend.
Oh, God, preach it, brother. Preach it. Lord.
I said that we're going to talk a little bit about Fan Expo here in depth after we get through some we promote some comics. But yeah, I did like an insane amount of cardio. I set like a record on my Fitbit, so congratulations to me for walking all over the damn place. That Fan Expo, the K. Bailey Hutchison Center, was insane. It was huge. And then you had to walk across a sky bridge from the Omni Hotel. And every time I did that route, it counted it as exercise because it's like 15 minutes of walking.
Mm.
It's good stuff. But it's 15 minutes of walking in a hotel. It's not so bad. Jerry says amen for so much walking. Oh, my gosh.
Pretty sure my vertebrae was, every single one was letting me know it existed.
Yeah, for real. For real. Oh, my gosh. Brian James says, Mr. Hooper, you continue to be the industry standard bearer of excellence. You are a credit to humanity. Wow. I guess I'm going to, since we're filling in time until Robert gets here, I'll tell you a little bit about Fan Expo. Fan Expo is a very large convention that plays all over the nation. This weekend, it played in Dallas, Texas, which is about 3 hours south of where I am right now in Oklahoma City. It ran from the, 17th to the 19th? Is that the correct date?
That's the correct date.
2021 is in Dallas, Texas, in downtown. This was a huge convention. I've never been to Fan Expo before. This was a new convention for me. The thing was insanely packed. So for people who are wondering if people would show up and attend a convention like this, I'm telling you right now they will. Everyone was masked. It was masks required, but there were there was no social distancing because there were a trillion people in a space which I would estimate was about the size of San Diego's space, San Diego Comic Con, which is about 4 football fields of vendor space. A large portion of that was for celebrity cosplayers, and I say that somewhat ironically. Oh, wait a minute. What do we have here? Joining us from parts unknown.
Hey!
That's right.
Mike?
Greetings from
Mike, do you have a
Mountain Standard Time?
Did you
Yes, do you what?
Okay, that's better. It sounded for a minute like you were next to an airplane.
Nope.
All right. Well,
Old
here
beat up
is,
air conditioner, that's what it is.
okay, fair enough. This is Mike Kennedy, who was also there at the convention and also a prolific comic book illustrator.
1 million square feet of exhibit space.
1 million.
That's a lot.
3 ballrooms, 88 meeting rooms, 1,750 seat theater, and a 9,816 seat arena.
I walked every square inch of that 18 times. 1 million square feet.
And I bet you never even saw the gaming area.
I did not.
I
there was-
didn't even see it. Yeah.
There was
I was
there was a
there-
gaming area.
There was a gaming area
That's what I
downstairs.
said too.
I was there to do business,
Ah,
and that's what I did. So I didn't walk the convention until the last day, and it was kind of slowing down about that time. So say, Livy, let's see. Ashell says that hanging in the hot tub at the hotel was my kind of exercise.
It's definitely what got me through Sunday, Ashell.
And Jerry said both Ashell and Jerry were with us as well. She says it was so huge, maybe made it through 2/3 of the trade show floors. 2/3 of the floors is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I know there was stuff we missed.
I don't think there's any way that you can not miss it.
Yeah.
Mike, how many things are you going to serve up here to us today? We've got a couple of windows open, and we're going to...
He's talking in one and he's frozen in the other.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's add this.
there you go.
Now we have 2 guests that are both named Mike Kennedy.
I like this.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Sorry, guys.
It's going to be one of those nights.
This is live TV, y'all. Live TV.
That's right.
We're just basically killing time until Robert joins us.
Lord.
But Mike, what did you think about the convention?
I thought it was really well done. It was huge. I walked a little bit of the floor on Friday, got around the artist area for a while, and then, I was helping out Chris Rupp's over at Rupp's Comics at his booth, and, we were kind of busy Friday. We were slammed Saturday, and I didn't get a chance to ask him yet how his Sunday was. But
Saturday was absolutely insane. The amount of people
was
that
chaos.
were in that that building, even with 1 million square feet, that thing was packed with people. It was insane.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that was something because he was talking to some of the other dealers throughout the convention, and it was a really diverse group of dealers because not a lot of the guys carried a lot of the same stuff like he did, and so there was no real way to gauge what was the big popular thing at the show.
He was carrying back issues, right? Oh,
Uh-oh.
Well,
now
all right,
Mike's gone. So much for that question.
From what Mike was telling me, he was carrying a lot of back issues and a lot of warehouse inventory that he was trying to get rid of and stuff.
To me, this was a very unusual convention. I hadn't been to a convention at all. Here comes Mike again. I hadn't been
Here
to
I
a
come
convention.
again. Sorry about that, guy.
I had been to a convention, a comic book convention like this in quite some time, and even longer since I had set up behind a table and signed stuff and did artwork. This convention felt very different to me in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously the situation has changed pretty radically, I think, maybe in the last, let's say, 10 years, where there's a hell of a lot of emphasis on media guests. So Fan Expo had helped me out with the people who were there. Zachary Levi, William Shatner.
Zachary Quinto, Walter Koenig.
Quinto. I didn't know he was there.
Yeah,
That's
Quinto
cool.
was there.
That's
Walter
cool.
Koenig, George Takei,
Hey.
Marstairs, a bunch of people from the office who I have no idea who they are.
A
Carl
lot of anime voices.
Mhm.
Cool.
And then you had the not to mention the professional cosplayers that were there.
Yeah.
So,
Who were very, very
Yeah.
popular. Say what you will, that
Yeah.
crowd. That's one thing that I think was very, very different from the way that it used to be. I mean, cosplayers were there, in San Diego and stuff, and they were hanging out and showing stuff, and they had their own like Saturday evening contest where people would come up and compete for prizes and stuff. But now they're part of the attraction, and it's not a small part. I would say they were a third of the draw.
Yeah.
I mean, the area that they had set up for the cosplayers, they had like, I'm going to just throw out a number and say maybe 15 booths, and then they had a massive section for people to get in line so that they could take pictures with these cosplayers. That's new. That was definitely not around even just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That did not exist, certainly to that degree. And I would also say that people who were just walking around the convention, I would say there's maybe several times more people who were dressing up. Maybe back in, the 90s, maybe 5% of the people would dress up and walk around the convention. And I would say it was more like 20% people who were either dressing eclectic or specifically dressing like, characters and stuff.
Dan's actually got me working on a costume for him for next year.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
he wants to be able to wear
That's
both
cool.
walking around and at the Free Range Pumpkins booth. So,
Very
well,
cool.
you know what that costume is.
I know what that costume
Yeah.
is.
Figured out how to do it too, so it'll be real easy.
Is it a surprise?
Yeah.
Beth, you want to talk about the convention a little bit? What you thought?
Oh man, So this is the first convention I've ever been to like this. I had an absolute blast. I think half of the fun for me was
You were like a 13-year-old girl.
I was, and I'm proud of this. I wear my 13-year-old girl geekdom proudly. I think half the fun was the cosplayers for me. Knowing the amount of detail these people have put into their costumes. I mean, it ranged from professional cosplayers to people who just threw on a Party City costume. But the professional cosplayers, the ones that that you could tell really put the time and the effort into their
We
costume.
have some photos we're going to share here later on this evening.
They were definitely a lot of fun to see.
Amazing.
Yeah,
to be
they
honest,
were.
some of them were the craft and the dedication, and getting out in the Texas sun, and putting this silly stuff on and walking as far as I did, maybe further, to get in there. I mean, just getting into the arena was insane. I mean, because you have security there who's checking bags, and you have security there that's checking to make sure you're masked, and you have security there that's making sure you're not walking somewhere where you're not supposed to, and people who have tickets and people who need tickets.
There went
and
Mike
there
again.
goes Mike again. People who have tickets and people who need tickets and everything. I mean, it was, and to their credit, I will give this to Fan Expo. This was easily the best run convention I've ever seen.
It moved very smoothly, and one thing I noticed as I was walking through Artist Alley and talking with the different comic artists was the ones that obviously had to step away for a while. If they didn't have someone with them, I noticed that the expo crew stood there and waited, and I heard them very politely telling people, "Oh, he stepped away for a minute," or "She stepped away for a minute. Please come back in a few minutes." And it was very well run, and for me, it was getting to see the artists and what was going on in Artist Alley that really made the expo the most fun for me, as well as some of the exhibits down on the celebrity floor.
Right. All right. Well, we have some craziness going on.
There he is.
There he
Here
is.
comes Robert.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing
Mike,
good.
We're getting a lot of feedback from their deal there. All right, Robert. We only have you for about 10 minutes. Why don't you tell us why you're on?
Yes, sir. Basically, well, obviously, I think you guys were talking about the con, which we had this weekend, which was a lot of fun, and did that thing. We were promoting Bad Candy, the Kickstarter for number 3, and we're getting that going, and there'll be links on display there. And so far, we're about halfway to our goal. So we've been and we're doing real well. It's a 1-month launch, so we should be pretty good. I think as far as we're in good hands on that. Bad Candy is a horror comic, kind of patterned after 80s horror cinema, and we're just having a lot of fun putting it out. Also, as I kind of teased last week, I'll be premiering a new tier tonight when I get home, where every week I'm going to add a new add-on that is an original piece of artwork, and it's not necessarily a great view, but you can kind of see it a little bit there. And then I also sent an image to Hoop, so hopefully we can get one up a little bit later on that. So there we go there. So still got a little bit of work left on it. These are mostly kind of experimental in what I'm doing. Like this one here was done purely with brush pen, and I just decided to do that. Next week I'm thinking about maybe doing an ink wash or something in that nature. And just keeping it interesting, keeping it fun, and then obviously offering something that somebody else can get a little extra if they decide they'd like an original piece of artwork to work.
So we're about 50% through this. It launched on Friday. We had an early bird special.
Mm-hmm.
Got some people that took us up on that, which is pretty cool.
Which is good. Yep.
You say that you're going to have an original piece come up later on tonight?
Yeah,
Is that correct?
I basically finished up the plan. It'll be up by tomorrow for sure. I'll probably launch it at midnight. Most people probably won't see it, but I'll launch it probably around midnight or 1, and then just that piece that I had on display there. And like I said, that's something I'm going to do every week to kind of keep interest, and then be able to post something to social media and keep people coming back. Man, maybe somebody who's on the fence goes, maybe I think I'll jump on that. And like I said, and then the plan, maybe eventually I'll turn these into maybe a portfolio or something. And who knows, if we do real well and create a stretch goal, then maybe we do a Bad Candy portfolio as a stretch goal reward. So
cool. You want to talk a little bit, since we were on this subject, you want to talk a little bit about the convention and your experience out there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It's great seeing people, lots of friends and family, or not family, but friends that that in many ways are like family. I mean, obviously, we go back 20 plus years, so so I'm like it's 30 years now at this point, which is crazy. Going that way, still quite 30. Yeah, 30. So
it's
anyway,
30, buddy.
So yeah, it is. So anyway, it's good to see people, get to talk to people, and kind of go through the whole thing. But also, the con is an interesting thing. I know you guys will probably get to do a little deep dive into it and see how as the show progresses. And I wish I could be a part of that.
Will. I do too.
Yeah. And long story short, though, I think it's just going to be a matter of some shows are tailored, for those big shows. They're tailored to meet Bill Shatner and to get autographs and meet all these people. And that's what these bigger shows are tailored for. And so it leaves the little guy in the artist alley, which for me is where all the action's at and where all the fun is. But those guys, we're basically fighting over scraps, And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the nature of those types of cons, As a thing later on, in about 2 weeks, we'll be doing OafCon here in Norman, Oklahoma, and it's going to be a complete 180. It's going to be about comics and collectibles, and there will be no celebrity people in the house, and it's going to be geared towards the comic people. And I think it's important to just understand, and keep your expectations within a certain level of what you intend to do and what you hope to do, and understanding that those shows are tailored for the people that they're tailored for, and I still want to be a presence. I still want to be seen, and you never know that person who sees your work and it leads to another thing down the line, And so either way, it's still an exciting time, and we still have a lot of fun. And basically, it's a little mini vacation too. So I enjoy that aspect.
It was definitely that, and I want to thank you for inviting me out there and getting me in, with an exhibitor pass. You and Jeree helped get me out there. If it wasn't for you two, I wouldn't have gone. And it was fun to sit behind the table and sign some stuff and meet people, and that entire thing was actually a lot of fun.
Yes,
sure.
and
So
you also
thank
turned out a really nice bad. Yeah, well, you're welcome, and you also turned out a really, really nice bad candy piece. So
Thank you.
and we'll tease that at some point in the near future, and maybe put that in the portfolio if we get to that point in the thing. So it's a very nice piece. So
I'm going to take another stab at bad candy here pretty soon, because what I learned from that trip is that I do kind of enjoy doing analog pieces, and Mike's going to come in with 100 different screens tonight.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having issues with my Wi-Fi. That's what's going on.
I understand.
Yes. Been there,
I
done that.
apologize.
It's okay. Rob, your campaign is only been going on for about a week now, and you're
Yep.
almost halfway there, which is pretty good, right?
Yes, I'm pretty happy about that result. Like I said, I think it's going to be. I feel good about it, and I think that it'll be good. That hopefully we'll hammer out that goal soon, and we can start thinking about stretch goals. So if you're somebody that this book sounds interesting to you, you like the art, or just want to support the local indie guy, then please check it out. And hopefully something jumps on board, and jump on board if you like. We'd love to have you for the journey and what we're doing. So what we're creating.
It doesn't get any more independent than us. I've got a piece of
Exactly.
artwork that's on the cover. So if you if you follow what I'm doing, please go to Kickstarter and make it's not like any of these things are very expensive. And if you're behind on the comics, there's you can actually bid on the first couple of issues, so you get caught up. There's tasty treats.
Yeah, and the nice thing is you just
there's tasty treats that Sean Wilson was also involved with, so you can definitely get involved in that. That is an excellent one-shot comic, so you can get several stories. It's kind of like an anthology type thing, which I think is very cool. Sean did the cover on that. So look, if you guys watch us and you want to support our work and you want to see more stuff, this is our chance. And again, it's not like Rob's running this thing for a lot of money. So you can get in for very little here and help us out a lot. Very little helps.
And it's truly a labor of love. I love going to these shows. I love doing this. It's kind of that silly little be the change you want to see in the world. But honestly, that's what I miss. I miss going to comic shows and getting original art for people.
I
and seeing
totally
what
agree.
The new, cool, cutting edge ideas. And so if I want that stuff to be present, I'm at a spot now where I can be that person that does that, and hopefully keeps that sort of vibe and that sort of energy at these cons. And that's what I really enjoy doing, and I'm getting to tell stories that I love to tell and draw and have fun, and and I'll keep on doing it for the foreseeable future for quite a while. I really, really enjoy it. We have multiple projects that we'll tease and we'll get going out there as we get further along on those things. Several things that involve Dirk and as well as Sean again, and just kind of the whole Rain King coterie moving in, and Scott also, Prime. So I'm looking forward to just continuing to put out work and do the things we're doing and do the appearances, and I've got a lot of things lined up. Still 2 or 3 more appearances left on what's become this Bad Candy, fall 2021 tour. We've got three down and may have 3 more left. So I know we've got 2 more for sure, but there may be a 3rd one in the mix. Right.
Notice that Mike is locked up again.
Notice that Mike has changed his name.
Yes, he has.
Yes, he has. Yeah, I think
Mike, I'll
Mike
bring you in here
needs to do
just a
something.
second, man.
Mike's gone.
Yeah.
Let me bring you here.
Yeah, I think he
in here
needs
just
to
a
do
second. Just hold.
getting stuff paused and.
Let me get past Rob's segment. I'll bring you back
Dab
in.
in there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm juggling
he
too many
needs to do a
things
thing
at the
where
same
he
time.
So.
Rob, you're right. One of the great things about getting all of these people together, and several of these people I knew from 25, 30 years ago, and then some of these people I met for the first time, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But it certainly does put you in a situation where you are talking to people and you're networking and you come up with ideas, and even if you're not making trillions of dollars, and at this convention, if you weren't a celebrity or you weren't a Marvel or DC artist, I suspect you weren't making a lot of money.
Mhm.
But
I agree.
besides that, it's a great place to network and to be part of the adventure of, you know, being a creator and meeting other creators and stuff. That was definitely there. And that felt pretty good.
Definitely.
And, you know,
I agree, and that's the thing. Good.
you know, me getting a chance to talk to you about some ideas and stuff, you know, put me on the path for, you know, the next few things that I'm going to do. And, you know, I talked to Mike about some stuff and, you know, maybe resurrecting a comic book venture we had 25 years ago to maybe try some new things with that. And, you know, Walt took off, so I didn't get to talk to him about that. But, you know, I think that that's maybe the thing that is the greatest thing about these conventions is that it serves as a nexus of that sort of activity.
Exactly. I think so. I agree with you 100% because even then, you know, you feed off the other creativity, you see something that inspires you to want to do your own thing, and then just talking to people. I mean, you saw multiple times, you know, I talked to the Upchuck Comics, the guy that do the Biggs comic, the guy to Stormy, got to talk to a guy that does the Hero Initiative, well, not really the Hero Initiative, but the 100, which helps promote people that they create books that they put out to help support, and the proceeds go to supporting comic book industry veterans who now are maybe gotten older and don't have good insurance, things of that nature. And so
that's
you get to talk
nice.
to these people and you get to, and you get to do those types of things. And then, you know, I talked to, you know, Tony Rodriguez, the guy that did does the roughs for Stray Dogs, and he's committed to do a Bad Candy piece for us. And so, you know, so
That's
there's a lot
pretty
of
cool.
really, really great things where I'm excited about it. I got to see a little tease of it and it looks really, really good. So, you know, but these are the things, you know, you get to meet with people, like-minded people, and you get to share ideas and creative energy. And then you come back, you know, ideally, you're a little tired when you first get back, but, you know, then that energy starts to be replaced and you start to get back to being, you know, wanting to do something. I've drawn every night since I got back. You know, I'm just kind of, it's a good feeling to be, a good place to be.
It fires you up.
So, definitely.
Rob, you got a commission for a guy who was in a band. You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, they were a band called Up for Corruption, and it was sort of a, you know, Iron Maiden sort of, you know, they play that kind of death metal sort of, you know, thing, and they wanted sort of a I guess sort of their Eddie, you know, or something like that. They wanted to kind of be able to put out, you know. So I went ahead and knocked this out. They had sort of the story, and they have a song based around them. And like I said, they're Up for Chaos, and I did Up for Corruption. Sorry, Up for Corruption. And and it was a lot of fun to do it. It was a neat little piece to knock out, and it was a good commission. So it's always fun whenever you get to do something that, you know, also, again, this is another way of connecting and inspiring these guys and giving them something to do. Like he joked that he sent the rough that I finished to the guitarist, and the guitarist was like, "Man, I'm gonna go get that tattooed on my arm." And it's like,
wow,
let him finish first. You know? He's like, "This is just the rough, you know, let him finish." You know,
that's pretty cool.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so, you know, so it's fun. Again, we talk about sharing creative energies and getting to do stuff where you move around and you make people, you know, and it's a lot of fun. And that's one of those things that makes it a very rewarding time and a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. Well, Rob, let's do one more push here for your comic, and tell us what's going on. I'm going to put you up on the thing. Tell them what the comic is and how long this thing runs, and make your best pitch.
All right, so Bad Candy, a love letter to 80s horror cinema. We've got a pumpkin monster, and the basic gist of it is sort of protect your deity. You do what you're supposed to do, and which is give an offering every day in the month of October, the harvest month. Then you're blessed year-round for things that you're doing. Unfortunately, the Lewis family, who they do what they're supposed to do, they give the offering, but unfortunately their house gets taken over by some bank robbers who are on the run from the law, and they kind of just move into these people's home, and then next thing you know, they don't let them give the offering. Bad Candy awakens, offering becomes sacrifice, and then it becomes a whole night of carnage and bloodshed. So we, you know, it's something that we do just kind of as a fun thing. And so we're in the 3rd issue on our Kickstarter, and we're looking forward to having that out. You can see it's posted up there on the screen. Please click on it. Please go check it out, and just give it a look. That's all we ask. We're hard at work on the 4th issue as well right now, and hopefully we'll have that out soon. And then obviously next year, looking at a trade paperback. The Tasty Treats is an anthology, which kind of helps complete the Bad Candy verse, kind of fill it out a little bit more, sort of like our Hellboy Weird Tales, if you will. And where we get to explore a little other aspects of Bad Candy mythos and mythology. And, and then we got another one of those lined up, and that's the one I kind of teased a little bit earlier, and we'll be talking a lot about it once we get a little further along.
Got a lot of good people on that.
Yes, a
lot of
interesting
creators.
Mm-hmm. And this one, basically, one thing to take note of is I did a lot of the extra stuff as add-ons because I didn't want to create 17, 20 tiers of Bad Candy. You go in there, you get your choice of one of 3 covers, or you can get all 3 covers. And then in the add-on section, you can get issue 1, 2, Tasty Treats, some original art commissions, and some other odds and ends there. And that's where you go to get the extra stuff, including the piece of artwork that I teased here and showed here tonight. So make sure you click on the add-ons just to see all the extra things that you can add to your just initial pledge. So please check it out and let us know what you think, and we'd be happy to. I'm excited to be putting together the Kickstarter, and I hope that somebody out there finds it and enjoys.
How long until you get that call from Shudder wanting to do a movie on this here, Rob?
that would be nice. Yes, that would be real nice. Who knows? Because that is one thing. It does, because of its origins and the idea that it is a love letter to 80s horror cinema. It does really read well. And
it reads like that.
And a lot of people really, really are fond of it. And I've got a friend that's working on a cover for issue 4, and she's a huge horror nut. And so she read the script, and she was just like, she's a girl I went to school at Savannah College of Art and Design with, and she's a painter, and she's had work published in the Stranger Things artwork anthology and some other things named Bonnie Bazell, and she's excited about it. And so that really made me feel good because I knew she was a super horror buff, and she read the script, loved it as well. So, and she picked up on a lot of the little keys and the little things that I did.
Horror fans get your comic.
Yeah.
They do, and I think that's good because that's what you want. You want to put that's the audience that you strive for, and you hope that they enjoy. And there you go. So, yeah.
Rob, I got to let you go because I got to get in some time with our guest. And
I got you. I got
we'll have you
back.
We'll have you back next week anyway. So thanks once again, Rob. Appreciate you dropping by here. And one last time, please go over and check out the Kickstarter. There is the address for that. And I'll talk to you later, Rob.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful show. It's good seeing you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care, Rob.
Good night.
All right, there goes Rob, and here for a limited time only.
Okay.
Here's Mike.
I switched devices, and I think that fixed the problem.
Well, it's already clearer, and it doesn't sound like you're in an airplane.
I know. Well,
So
and here, because everybody's vocals were real scratchy, and you guys kept freezing up. It was really interesting. It was watching a really bad dub on a Japanese horror movie.
Great. You were the one freezing up.
No idea what
no,
you're talking about.
You guys would be talking, no mouths moving, and then all of a sudden you'd be moving and reacting, and I'm going like, okay.
Let me get to a few comments here, and then we will get to our feature. Let's see. What was this? Therese says the professional cosplayers were present.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle says it's fun getting together with friends.
Although I didn't get to see you, Michelle.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, both of you were so in and out that there was no way to get you two together.
Yeah, you two were having trouble hooking up.
Jerry's talking about the hot tub again.
The hot tub was fun.
Ronnie is in the house.
Hey,
Ronnie.
And Jerry must have heard me say thank you, so thank you to Jerry for helping out on that project.
Very much, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
I even owe you, Jerry. So
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
Yep, we'll talk about that here in just a minute, but right now we're going to go to our feature presentation. It's a party.
Yay!
I always sit back here and do this whenever I hear that. So
All right. Well, let's talk about comic writer and publisher Marrk Mulgrave. Let me give you the details here. Marrk Mulgrave is a comic writer and publisher of Patchwork Comics. Mark's favorite genres include horror, fantasy, and superheroes, and his book is Spells and Superheroes, which I'm very excited to talk about. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, tell us a little bit about your Indiegogo that you have going on right now.
Absolutely. Yep. So I have Spells and Superheroes out on Indiegogo right now. We're headed towards the end of the second month on it. Basically what it is the pitch is it's a deranged dungeon master has captured 4 of Earth's bravest heroes, and he wants to play a game. So it's basically, right, it's got a little bit of Saw. It's got some, obviously some of my favorite things growing up, which was superheroes. And then the spells aspect was, D&D, fantasy, stuff like that. So a little sprinkle of everything into this project.
I love the concept. That is great.
I like that concept too.
Yeah, same here.
Who is
Thank you,
we're
guys.
gonna show this on the screen here in just a second. Tell us about your artist and how you got involved.
Absolutely. So my interior artist is this gentleman, Jacob Whittingham. I first met him through the Draw and Talk Discord. Draw and Talk's a really great YouTube channel that has a pretty solid, just one of those underground networks where you can meet people. I met Jacob there, and then later on, probably 2 or 3 months later, when we had the script ready, I hit him up actually on the Alternate Comics forum. They had a help wanted post there, so yeah, I saw some of Jake's art. He's gonna kill me because I always bring this particular piece up. He's a Star Wars guy, and he did a Ventress piece, Asajj Ventress, right? So
Cool.
It's actually on the campaign. When we get into it, I'll actually be able to show it a little bit. But
I'll bring that up right now. Go
right.
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's actually here we go. Hold up, I'll have to scroll down because we actually have a couple tiers here, artist commission tiers, and we'll go over everything. But
Yeah, great.
let's see. All right. Yep. Oh, now it's gonna make me scroll back to the top.
What I like about Mark is that he knew automatically how to share the screen. He obviously uses StreamYard. He knew how to share the screen. He knows how to operate this thing. So it's like having another producer on the show. I appreciate it immensely.
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely one of the things. Just getting into YouTube, it's like when you're getting ready to put the book out there, you're like, all right, it's time to dive on in. So
It sure is.
yep. So this is that piece I was talking about, though, the Ventress piece.
It
I
looks
saw
cool.
that. Right. That's actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is his latest full color thing. Him and he's always sending me some kind of art, but this was the latest thing that he did all the way through. But, yep.
Very nice. Yeah, take
very
us to
good.
the top and run us through the campaign, if you would. please.
Absolutely. Yep. So I actually have a trailer here, if y'all don't mind. Go ahead and
No,
hit that.
please. That's
Oh,
great.
go for it.
All right. Let me know if y'all can hear that.
It's coming up. Awesome.
What? Wait. Biding my time to make sure
You could kick that up a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Girl. Tricolors. Madam Magic. You fools think you can stop me? You never had a chance! Spells and superheroes.
Yep.
That's
So that's-
awesome.
It's very
That is
cool.
awesome.
That's very cool.
Very well done.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was my buddy and my Sunday morning co-host, Pedro Ang. I
Man.
just gave him very little direction. You just give that dude, something and wind him up, and he will go to work for you.
I mean, you had an animated video. That's
I
awesome.
know. It really is incredible. I'm just some schmuck, and just to see
We
something
all
that
feel
I
like
created,
that.
it's really fantastic. But yeah, let me
Yeah, that's
get
very
into it here.
impressive.
It is
So-
very cool.
So where are you? How much are you asking on this, and where are you on it right now?
Right. So what we're doing, the campaign itself is a little bit different. for starters, I kept the goal just at I think it's a minimum of 500. I set it at 500. We got 10 days left. We hit the goal, obviously. I'm going to keep it going until probably, I'm thinking at least until December. I mean, I think that's when I'll have to close it anyways. But as I'm getting everything in, all the additional prints and things like that, I want to just keep it running. So if anybody wants to back it, they'd still have the opportunity.
That is very cool.
That's very cool.
There's the link for that, by the way. Mark, go ahead and tell us about the campaign.
Right. So we kind of hit the characters with the trailer there, but this is this team here. It's a pretty analog team at the start. This project, just the moment it came out, there's been so many more questions of, originally I wasn't planning on doing a larger storyline with this team, but it was something that people have really taken to. So just out the rip, that was, something I wanted to touch on. Was a lot of people do ask if we have plans to do more with them. So yeah, we do.
Well, yeah, and as soon as a writer, as soon as you put those plans, as soon as that little seed is planted in your characters' heads, they take on a life of their own. So whether you want it or not,
right?
Yeah.
Who did this piece?
So this was a guy I'd met through a friend of mine. His name's Samrat Das. Samrat, he did this print. He's not. He's an indie guy. He's done some books that were for a friend of mine that sadly never saw the light of day. I know Samrat is doing a story on a Kickstarter that just closed, actually, called Frontier Tomorrow, which shout out to Ben Krieger. I just had him on my show a few days ago.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Send him our way.
Right. So Samrat Das, he did the pencils here, pencils and inks, and the colorist on the book, my buddy Anthony Gambino, he went ahead and did the colors on this print.
That's really nice.
That's a very nice piece.
It is.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, really. And Sam, he actually did 2 prints for us here. This is the cover of the book. So this was done entirely by Jacob Whittingham, the interior artist.
Cool.
He did it. He's mostly a digital guy, but he did this physical to start with for the pencils and inks, and then transferred it over to color.
Okay.
So this is our cover.
Cool.
Now, yep. Let me take a little sip of water here. This is page 1.
That's nice.
It's supposed to sort of be a. So I'll go over here. We've got a couple of rats fighting over a piece of cheese. The game master splashes his feet down into this just mucky water, and here's our team. Right, they're being forced to play what is essentially a game of D&D for all the marbles, and this room is basically meant to represent that room in Saw 1 where they're chained down. Right?
Oh, right.
So that's sort of the setup here, and the book takes place 50% in this world, and then 50% into the game world. So you'll see them as you go through the book. You'll see the different characters as their D&D selves, let's say.
That's a take on one of the Wolverine covers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this
cool.
this is actually an announcement. I actually haven't shown this to anybody yet. I've been waiting just been waiting until Jacob got me that other page, which I actually got today. So we kind of get to do the combo. This is a print. So we have 3 prints that are included with both of the physical tiers. So if you back either one of basically our only physical tiers, you'll get 3 prints. You'll get that Samrat Das. This was done by Elliot Rodriguez, and colors by my buddy Ixty5. Obviously the Frank Miller Wolverine homage here.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So with the different tiers, or with each physical tier, I designed this. I'm calling it a battle map. It's in the shape of an 11 by 17, almost like a menu or a brochure. So you would unfold it, and inside right here is the battle map. This is supposed to represent a scene from the game, but you could also, as you print it out, it's not a huge, map essentially, but it is an 11 by 17 piece that you can play, and there'll be a little story in one of the extra pages that is sort of like a game module, if you will.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't even take credit for that idea. That was RJ from Critical Blast. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him. Another great creator to hook up with. This is the back of the map, so it'll have that kind of like dungeon map feel,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Very
That is cool.
That's a very unique concept right there.
It is.
Thank you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, I mean, I'll yap. So please, if you got
No,
anything.
please go ahead.
Yeah, just go ahead and yap if you want.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's cool.
Okay, thank you guys. Yep. So here's Patchwork Comics logo. We have a 3-inch logo sticker, just a round sticker. Nice and simple. We want to get that PW out there.
Oh, we all like stickers.
Yeah, we do.
Yep,
Yeah.
we do.
This right here, this is a 4x4 fabric patch designed by Frankie B. Washington.
Really?
Right. Yep. This is fantastic. This is included with just our featured tier, which I'll get to the tiers here in a second. But yeah, this was done by Frankie. There's a video on his YouTube channel of him going through. There's a short, like 2 or 3 minute one, and there's a full, almost 20-minute process video. Frankie's a really great creator, really solid professional, and yeah, definitely looking forward to working with him again.
A fabric patch. That's cool.
That is cool.
You got some unique stuff here.
We sort of going through other campaigns, like the whole process on this start to finish was probably like 6 to 7 months. It's being colored right now. Anthony's working on the colors, but from the time we got a hold of Jacob until putting the campaign out, I did just a lot of research on other campaigns, and just things that I saw that people liked, things that I liked myself, and things that ultimately made sense with what we were trying to do. So yeah, I feel like we kind of hopefully hit the nail on the head here. Here's our last print, though. This is another Samrat Das joint.
That's a really cool
That is awesome.
image. I like that.
This guy's gifted.
Yeah. Samrat's really amazing. Honestly, I just think it's difficult to get a hold of him sometimes. He lives in India, so the time zone difference it's
substantial.
It is really. It's so like half of my team is on the other half of the world. So
Hello to Maxine.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
hello, Maxine. But yeah, this print's included as well, and yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Doing some commissions, it looks like.
We are. Yep, I'll be able to scroll up here. So we've got 2 commissions going with our campaign. Each of them are $100 each. They're a little different. So Anthony Gambino, he's here in America. He lives in New York. He's got a sketchbook out. These are pieces from that right there.
Nice.
So if you, and somebody already actually backed an Anthony commission. So if you back Anthony Gambino or the Jacob Whittingham tier, you'll get the full campaign. So the $15, which is what our featured perk is. It's the $15 perk. So you'll get the full campaign, and then you'll get with Anthony, you'll get the actual physical page. So he'll mail you, and also you can get whatever you want. And I do encourage you to ask for the strangest thing that you can think of. Then just make it.
Pretty strange thing.
Put him in
Put
him in a corner.
Yeah, that would be great. And you'll get the full campaign with that, and the full penciled and inked page. So Anthony, he'll mail you that, and it'll be everything you wanted and more. And with Jacob's is a little bit different because he's from Australia, and just the shipping. We're not with this, since it's my first campaign. We're not doing international shipping. I just wanted to make it easy for
I've heard that's a nightmare.
That's funny because that's the exact word that everybody uses is I'll pop into streams. International shipping is a nightmare. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait. But for that, Jacob was actually really nice enough on his own to suggest that he will do, instead of giving you a physical piece, which you still can work out with him, just the shipping is going to be a lot. But but instead of a just penciled and inked page, he will do you the full penciled, inked, and digitally colored. So you'll get the full shebang along with the full campaign on our end as well. So
that's very cool.
That's cool.
Mark, here's an idea for Jacob, since he is overseas. For people who would be interested in having it printed, it may be one of those things where you can offer having it printed at the local FedEx or Kinko's or Office Depot of their choice, where he can also just send them the file and have it printed, and they can just go pick it up.
Yeah, that's definitely I mean, Jacob actually was keen. He's Australian. They always say we're keen to do things. He was keen to make sure I hand him this stream because he wants to. He loves seeing the reaction to his work. He definitely loves these characters. So shout out to Jacob. I'm sure you'll get this later, buddy. But yeah. So let me scroll back up here, and we'll actually go over the different tiers.
I think his stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
Just so he knows when he finally sees this.
One of the cool things that's actually included with the book, since it is a mini comic, which what we're calling it with Patchwork Comics, we're doing this line called Fun Shots. It's a play on a one shot. It's not miniature in size. It's miniature in page count, which I understand is kind of dubious for some people. So right off the rip, we do have we're calling the medieval deal, which if you just want the book and you just want to try it out, but you're not sure about the page count, for only $1, you can actually get the digital book itself, because that is kind of the goal here. I want you to
That's a
read
great deal. Sure.
my book. So
That's a really good idea.
That's very generous of you to do that.
yeah, and I hope that anybody that gets the medieval deal, next time around when I do another one of these, I hope that that's enough for them to say, okay, these guys can do it. So I'm on board for the next one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good plan.
So, but with that, we have the 11 pages of story. It'll be a 16-page printed book. And within that book, it'll be Jacob. Two of those pages are going to be Jacob's character design. So one sheet is the version of them you see here. Mm-hmm. The other sheet will be the fantasy version of the characters that you'll see when the book actually comes out. And I may sort of drip feed some of that stuff, like from now until then. But right now, it's hush hush. But right.
How completed is the project at this point?
It's fully drawn and color, or it's fully penciled and inked. It's Jacob's doing colors right now. Anthony's doing colors right now. He's on page 3 of colors. He's wrapping up a project. He's a pencil and inker himself, so he's wrapping up a project he's doing while coloring our book. As soon as he finishes. Yeah,
that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah. So you artists. No. But no. So I know he's working hard on that, and he's also is right now fulfilling his campaign as well. He's got a sketchbook out, so he's doing a million things. But that's why we set the ship date or the print date for December, the end of the year, just to give it all the time this baby needs. But yeah, it's fully drawn. It's getting colored, and as soon as it's colored, it's going off to Keith Gleason, who's my letterist.
Very cool. Let me get into you for just a little bit and find out a little bit more about what brings you to comics. What's your origin story?
What brings me into comics? I've always been a comic book reader. I've always just been a fan of storytelling. I very early on have memories of me and my cousin. I'm not really an artist, like drawing, like I've always wanted to be, but I just can't hack it, which is fine. Writing just seemed to sort of come a little more naturally for me. Right. So growing up, my cousin would be the artist. Like I just have really one distinct memory of like him doodling a lizard man in some dirt out in front of the yard, and us just looking around this story about a lizard man. That was probably like 10 years old or something.
That's awesome.
Just hanging out. But from just early on, I feel like I've always just wanted to do that. And really it took up until last year. I'm 29 now. I turned 28 last year, obviously. But it took up until last year to just sort of really allow myself to take the stab at, getting out there and doing it. So, yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes that's all it takes is just, jumping in on all of this stuff.
Yeah, you need that little push.
Let's talk about your YouTube channel. I want to make sure that people know about what's going on there.
Yeah. So my YouTube channel, it's started originally just because, honestly, the word on the street is build your brand, build your platform. So, that was that. I started, honestly, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ryan Wynn, really great artist. He does Gods and Gears. He does Hammerella. He has these inking videos, late night inks, and that was just something like I watch people do stuff and I kind of want to do it sometimes, I don't know, whatever. But so watching his inking videos, I was like, okay, I'll just try this,
Yeah.
And so after that, I tried that. And then my colorist, Anthony, he released his book and he's a really great artist. So I was like, well, maybe I could start trying to draw. So long story short, my YouTube channel started off as a way to document my art growth. Like I've got some art videos of like inking with Ginge was the first thing I did. Now I just do, I got a Sunday morning show with my buddy Pedro, but then I do random art draw streams where I attempt to do some art.
Yeah. You got something to show us there?
Let's see. I will pull out some of my latest stuff here. It's really nothing fancy.
That's all right. That's cool. We love to look at art.
Let's see. I haven't really read a whole lot of the comics, but I do love Mike Mignola's art style.
Right. I do too.
Yeah,
that's
sharp.
There you go. That's good.
This
Cool.
is probably the best thing I've done. And it was like, really, I mean, yeah, I really am quite fond of that piece. Here's something just for fun that I did that I kind of like the body language of it, so I wanted to take it. You know, I would have just kind of left it at the pencils, but I was like, all right, I'll complete it. You know what I mean?
It's really sharp.
That's great.
Okay, that's cool.
Thanks, guys.
You know, all of us start out the same way. You know, you just gotta keep plotting it. You know, it's funny. David Finch started up his Monday Night Draw again last night, and it's funny to hear that guy, a guy who has been in the big business. He started out at Image, and now he's working for Marvel, and he's worked for DC. And that guy is still kind of has some confidence issues, and he's amazing. So apparently it comes with the territory. Even David Finch is not really completely happy with what he's doing. So it's all a shared struggle, and I guess the point is you just gotta throw your hat in the ring and just try to keep improving.
I say that it's normal.
It is.
Same here.
That's normal.
It's totally normal.
Even for an author, it's the same thing.
All right, Mark. I know that we're going to try to get you out of here at 8:00. Let's run through all of your stuff here and make sure that everyone knows where to find you. First off, you need to know that he has 2 R's in Mark. I did not misspell that.
Yes. Yep. That's not how my name is spelled, but I've been a weirdo since I was like 15. Was like, all right, I've kept it that way. It's been an argument with my parents, you know.
Really?
Like, they didn't like it growing up. I'm almost 30 now, so we don't really talk about it very often. But I just kept it. I like it. Whatever.
It's memorable.
Yeah.
I like it.
Memorable. You are the Mark with 2 R's.
Do your thing.
Right.
You have the Indiegogo campaign, and that's you said it's going to run through December.
Yeah, it'll run basically up until the end of the year. As soon as I get the last bit of materials till I can start shipping out and fulfilling, then we'll let people probably know ahead of time, like 2 weeks. Hey, now's your chance. Ultimately, this stuff will go to our website, but you gotta give it some time and make sure everybody. The key is getting the backers their stuff first before you sell it anywhere else. I'm thinking so. That's the plan.
You're fully funded, so what's next?
That is the fantastic question. I'm really glad you asked that. Jacob and we are working on 2 things right now. That Foxman print, that is sort of that's a possibility. That's almost a teaser print.
Okay.
Yeah. We're kicking that around right now. He's sending me some art. We're either going to do a Foxman story, which I actually did want to share that because he would kill me. I have that extra Foxman page. Just real quick before I get out of here.
No, let's share it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. I want to see it.
Foxman. Right, dude. People have come to like Foxman.
Encouraging.
I'm kind of partial to the magic user girl.
What's her name? Right, Madam Magic.
Madam Magic. I'm kind of like her. I'm
I'm
ready for more Madam Magic.
People like a certain feature on Madam Magic for sure. Those things are hard to deny.
All right, here's your page.
So
that's a beautiful page.
Oh wow!
Look at
this.
That is very sharp.
It's really a joke page. It says in the next spells and superheroes, but down here we have a little events are subject to change. This is an Australian joke. Jacob is from the land down under. They have these things. We have them here in Florida. They're much smaller apparently. This is an ibis. We have the white ibis down here. You see them in ditches as you drive along. He says these are in Australia and much bigger, and they're called bin chickens, which is our version for trash chicken.
All right. That's cool.
That page looks great.
It's sharp.
He whipped
Very
this
nice.
up, start to finish, all on his own. He just wanted to. He's done a lot of other Foxman art behind the scenes, and this is playing with a new style. So yeah, it's just something Jacob wanted to do. He asked me to show everybody, and then also throw it into one of those extra pages. So yeah, great work,
That's
Jake.
awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
definitely.
It's very cool.
All right. Well, I also want to talk once again and make sure that people know about your YouTube. You are live, right, on Sunday morning?
Yes, sir. 10
At
a.m.
what time? 10
It's,
a.m. in Eastern time?
Central.
Oh, 10 a.m. Central. Okay. You're helping us out because we're Central.
I do feel some weird hindrance to other people in Central Time. It's like, hey.
All right, good.
Right.
Well, I've already subscribed to your channel, so I'll be checking it out.
Good. I will be too.
Thank you, Walt. I appreciate you guys.
Yep.
And there's your Twitter address. You're active on there.
Yep. That's pretty much the only place. I'm not a fan of Facebook. Twitter and YouTube are my main two spots that I go to.
Those seem to be the hot spots for comic book stuff. I mean, Facebook has some like comic groups and stuff, but the activity is really on YouTube and Twitter for sure. So you're in the right places.
I agree.
Anything else that you wanted to tell us before you get out of here?
Other than just, anybody that would like to take a chance on my book, I would really appreciate it. We do have it at, very affordably priced, especially considering everything you're getting. Our feature tiers, it's $15. It's $5 to ship it to you. So, I hope you give it a chance.
I hope you do too. We have a pretty good track record of people going over and, supporting the stuff on live, and we'll keep this up here and hopefully get some good hits on it and send some people your way. And in addition to that, if you ever need some help with some promotion or anything, get in contact us. We'll have you on, just like we had Robert on, and we got another guest coming on to promote some stuff here in just a minute. So,
my friend Ben,
you're always welcome to come in.
Real quick, let me shout out to Ben. He's the guy that actually told me to hit you up. Ben Soto.
Is it Soto? Yeah.
Yeah. Ben's
He's been on here.
Yeah, he hit me up. He told me to come by here. So thank you, Ben. I had a great time, everybody. Thank you for having
Ben.
me.
Thanks for stopping by, Mark.
Yeah, we love Ben. Hey, thank you, Mark.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a good one.
All right, we got some comments here. What do we got here? Michelle says, thank you so much, Jerry. We do appreciate all you did for us last week. We certainly do. Oh, Ben's watching.
Hey,
Ben.
How about that?
Hey.
Hey, Ben. By the way, I think, am I wrong? I think that you're going to be at OFCON, right, Ben? I think I saw your name listed as one of the artists out at OFCON. And Mike, are you going out to OFCON as an artist or just
as an artist? Yeah, this will be my first con appearance since COVID hit.
Do you have a table out at OFCON?
Yeah.
I contacted OFCON. They said they're out. So you may have taken my spot.
No, there was actually another table left over before me. So whoever took it after me.
I should have contacted him a week or two ago. Honestly,
okay. Hey man, just get with me and we'll work something out. How's that?
All right. I don't have a lot to sell anyway. That's okay.
Well, see, there you go. We can work it. It's good.
Ben is going to be there at OFCON. Mike, since you're here, tell us when OFCON is and what's happening on that.
That is next weekend, the first weekend of October. I think it's still at the Embassy Suites in Norman, I believe.
Man, the Embassy Suites is nice.
It is. It's a nice facility.
Comic conventions didn't used to be at Embassy Suites. Okay.
No.
Not in Oklahoma. Then.
Certainly not in Oklahoma. It was like at Joe's truck stop.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
and
a nice
convention
hotel that was
center
across the street from the convention.
I will tell you the first convention I ever went to was a Robotech convention way back in the day.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. What year was that?
That was like
late 80s?
Late 80s.
Oh, good Lord.
Dude.
You bumped into each other, I'm sure.
I was there.
Yeah, and it was at a holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Nerd memories.
Yeah. Well, you say that, Walt. The one of the last times I got to see Bart before he passed away, which was at OFCON, handed me a piece of artwork that I did for him back in the early '80s of Robotech. One of the extremely few anime pieces I ever drew.
Wow.
So, just looking at it, I was like, yeah, I said that too. Wow. Wow. It's like,
you say I want to be clear on this so that people who are interested know about it. You said it's next weekend. Is it going to just be one day?
I think
Is it
I think
2
it's,
days?
I think it's 2 days. I think it's Saturday and Sunday.
So Saturday and Sunday. Okay,
think
so
so.
I'm going to say that's October 2nd and 3rd. It's in Norman, Oklahoma, at the Embassy Suites Hotel. There's only one of those in Norman.
Yep.
And it's going to look. Can you talk a little bit about OFCON, Mike? Because I think that you
Oh my
probably
gosh!
know
Yeah,
more than
Oklahoma,
anyone about
Oklahoma
Bart
Alliance
and
of
about
Fandom.
OFCON.
Yeah. OFCON has been around longer than I've been doing comics. Bart Bush, basically, a lot of the reasons that there are comic shops are because of people like Bart.
Thank you, Ben.
Bart was one of the few people that actually helped set up a distribution system to get comics out of the grocery stores
Yeah,
and into a shop specifically for fans.
that guy is seriously an Oklahoma comics legend. As far as
even
being
more,
in the industry and helping
yeah.
out both creators and fans.
And that's everywhere. I mean, I didn't realize quite the scope of his involvement until
Yes.
After he was gone.
Yes.
But he had Down Memory Lane in Norman, and then
Yeah.
oh god, I can't remember. And then there was another name, and then Metropolis, and then he was at Planet Comics towards the end of his career. Down Memory Lane was amazing because you walked in, you could find everything. It was like a big gift shop, comic book store.
Yeah.
So Metropolis was
I found Judge Dredd there.
much smaller scale, but it was more geared towards Japanese animation and Japanese toys. You could find some of the coolest toys from Japan there. So if you liked Bandai, there you go. That's where you went.
Right.
And then of course at Planet, he was back more to the traditional comics and everything. But he was always involved. I mean, he was a person you always talk to. There's another guy down in Dallas, which I did get to briefly meet and hadn't seen him in a while. Paul McSpadden also was pretty involved in that. And he came by the Ruff's World booth. I didn't recognize it first because he's a little older, but the minute he talked, I knew who it was. And then,
Right.
His son was there, and I remember his son being considerably shorter and not as, no beard then.
Right.
But, he's a great guy. There's a
Right.
good chance he may be there too. I'm not sure. But if he's there, go in there and talk to him about comics, and you will get a wellspring of education right there. It'll be tons.
Matt Price, thankfully, wrote a really great piece on Bart when he passed, and really went over a lot of this sort of stuff, and gave him a proper eulogy for all of the things that he did for the comic book industry. And I think that it's nice that even though that he's passed, that OFCON is going to carry on, and that much of the spirit of that convention will be carried on. I think that's a very nice legacy.
Yeah,
for Bart, who was a fixture in the local community for sure.
Yeah,
comic book community.
And when he would bring a guest to the O shows, they were not they weren't the big Image or Marvel comics. These were guys that they're the foundation for the artists we see today. So
Absolutely.
he had the creator for Alley Oop come out to the show one time,
wow.
which was amazing.
That's so cool. What?
Exactly.
Who does that?
Exactly.
That is cool.
One of the creators from the Phantom that took over the newspaper strips after Lee Falk passed away. He came out there one year and was doing work. You would always find those are the guys you want to sit and talk to. Adrian Roy's husband, who I can't remember his name, he was a colorist for DC back in the 70s. Did a lot of stuff like Green Lantern, Green Arrow, a lot of series like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got the chance to go have breakfast with him at that last OFCON.
Nice.
So that was really cool to sit and talk about that, the work that he done. He worked on stuff like Vampirilla back in the old days when they would do color inserts in black and white magazines. And it was just, didn't get anything signed by him, but I had more fun just visiting with him over breakfast and talking about comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
No doubt. Let me put up Benjamin's words here about Bart. Bart encouraged me to do my own thing back when I was working with Equinox Comics. He's one of the reasons I started self-publishing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people around here have that story. Thank you for sharing that, Ben.
Yeah.
Very,
he's
very, very cool.
just an amazing guy. It's sad. It's a sadder world that he's not still around in it because of that, because of what all he knew, what all he did for us, you know, as writers and artists and publishers and just fans in general.
Yeah, for sure. So OVCon is going to be 2 weekends from now, and Mike's going to be out there, and Robert's going to be out there.
Yeah.
Robert will be selling issues of Bad Candy and doing sketches and stuff, which he loves doing.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you going to be doing out there, Mike?
I'll have a standalone issue that we did for Oki Comics last year called Stone of Thor. I'll actually have the regular colors, and I'll have sketch covers there. I'll bring some of the Celtic Knights stuff, and I'll do remarks on those.
I still have. You gave me one of those. I will have that and show it on. When I unpack it, I will show it to everyone.
Yeah, and that's just a fun book. We're getting ready to hit the 10-year mark next year that I've been working on the project. So we've got, well, it's not we, it's me now. I've got actually 2 graphic novels that are in the process of being finished up. And while I was doing some unpacking after I moved back to New Mexico, I found a finished and thumbnailed out script for a graphic novel for one of the Celtic Knights characters that it's been sitting in a box for 3-4 years now.
Time to do
So
it.
you were sitting
Time
on
to do
something.
it, Mike. Come
Wow.
on. Time to do
Oh,
it.
I am. I'm gonna pull the trigger off. And probably with these books for the 10th anniversary, that's one of those things I'll probably do my first Kickstarter to really push on it.
Cool.
I think you've got
So-
3 backers sitting right here already. so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike, how many
Maybe-
comics? how
Maybe
many?
even some contributors. So
Yeah.
And we could do that too, because there's a
I'm
lot
happy
of
to
scripts. I
contribute
just gotta
something.
find them, you know.
Yeah.
Because I printed off a lot of scripts. Because he did do a lot of work before he passed away. You know, because Stephen was pretty young. He was in his late 30s, which I say that like he's pretty young, but I'm older than that. But he did a lot of work when he got sick. So he really tried to give me a lot of material to have ready.
Wow.
So,
Mike, how many comics have you produced?
I would probably say I'm getting into the 40 to 50 books. So, it's quite a few. Not like a mainstream guy, but as an indie artist, that's a lot of work.
I mean, for
Yeah.
a guy who's doing stuff, I mean, it's been a side thing for you forever.
Oh my God, yes.
And a labor of love.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean, I got to know you through. I think that we determined that maybe I met you back at Southside Comics or
Yeah,
something.
it was
Maybe
Southside Comics.
maybe
yeah.
in the '80s.
Yeah.
And but you know, I got to know you at those conventions because you would set up and you were doing Heroines Incorporated and Chuck the Barbaric.
Yeah.
And I was so totally fascinated with, you know, these comics that you did the whole thing. You did all of it in
Oh
these
my God.
comics,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, soup to nuts.
Yeah.
You were doing the whole thing.
Literally with number 2, I did everything but push the button on the printing press.
Right.
That one. I hand separated the colors for the cover.
Yeah. I know
Wow.
you did.
All of it.
I know
No,
you did.
And I swore I would never do anything that extensive again.
Kids, it was not as easy 30 years ago to produce a comic.
I'm thinking about you doing the separations for that, and my head is
I saw your head
exploding.
explode. Yeah.
Cutting all that
Ah.
amber lit.
Gosh.
Ben says that's awesome, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
And I have contemplated the fact
Woo.
of either collecting it, because I still have most of the original art for all the books.
Do you?
It would
I'm
be
actually.
Oh,
I'm
you
going-
should
I'm
definitely do
If you-
that.
I'm
If you
going
have
through-
the cut amberlit still,
Oh my
that would
God.
be awesome.
I don't know if I have that, but the
That
original
sounds like a
cover-
nightmare.
The original cover was painted, which was sad that I had to go from a full painted cover down to 2-color. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it just kind of lost effect in the final project. That was probably the thing I was upset the most, but I just couldn't at the time. I couldn't afford to send it off to a printer. I was actually doing an internship at a printing company in Norman at the time, so all the camera work was free. I just kind of fit that into my schedule when we were shooting pieces to plate.
A lot of people work in the print industry
Oh yeah,
who also work in the comic industry.
yeah.
You know, Sean included. Sean has been a graphic designer and worked for print companies and stuff. And
So have I.
had some.
Yeah, that's
yep,
true.
you know, and you use your resources where you can. Makes a difference.
Yeah. And as long as, the people you work for are very understanding and will let you do that stuff too, is also, that's very important.
Maybe give you the weekend off now and then. So
Well,
you can go to one of these
get all your
conventions.
projects done. Then, your time's your own usually,
Yeah.
So.
Michael Pickard's
But
supposed to be joining us here pretty soon.
All you need is just one piece with that cut emberlith to just let people know how crazy that was.
Oh yeah. Well, and I did that stuff in high school for a screen printing company.
Yeah.
Here he is.
I used to get off school and I'd go sit at the table for about 2 or 3 hours cutting emberlith.
There's Michael.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Look at that. You came right on as soon as I mentioned you there.
Believe it or not,
All on
magic of the
cue
computer.
there.
I had you open another tab and I was listening in for a cue.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I was
There
just
you
killing time with Mike because we we
was
have a lot of
fascinating.
history together. Oh, well, good. Thank you very much. Another friend of the show here, Michael Pickard, wanted to come on and make an announcement about his Kickstarter, and I want to promote the other Kickstarter too. You got two. You are the masochist that's running 2 Kickstarters at the same time. Tell us how things are going.
So the 2 projects that Dirk just brought up are Heartland Blood #1 and Advanced Launchpad #1. The Daring Exploits Advanced Launchpad.
The Daring Exploits.
Yeah, can't forget the full title.
I love that title.
I do too.
Thank you. Yeah, the one, Heartland Blood, is a horror family drama, which is currently at 64.7% funded.
That is so specific.
Excellent.
Yes, that is
Right before I hopped on, I didn't want to push to 65 if it wasn't 65.
Right, I got you. You keep the truth in there.
Exactly. But Heartland Blood just reached 64.7% funded. We're at
Good.
the halfway point tomorrow, so that's fantastic. Thank you guys for this audience for turning up to support the book. So it's been fantastic, and this platform and this audience that Taskforce Geek has definitely been there. So thank you guys so much.
Oh, thank you for saying
You're
that. That's generous. Thank you.
But then secondly, the other project is the Daring Exploits Advanced Launchpad, which is a sci-fi pulp dystopian mashup, which is currently sitting at 15% funded. It really needs a lot of help. So if you're
How is that
interested,
possible?
it's a weird anomaly. We're not quite sure what's going on. We're pushing it as much as we're pushing Heartland, and it's just a fluke and possibly algorithms or people turning out for other projects that are similar.
That is crazy.
Yeah, very surprising considering how great the story is and Johnny Wise's art is on the project. So
It's
if
so
you guys
good.
it's fantastic. Yeah. So if you guys can check out the Daring Exploits Advanced Launchpad, it's a really fun project. Johnny's art is outstanding. It's unbelievable. The title alone should sell you. The Daring Exploits Advanced Launchpad.
Hello.
You want to own that book?
yeah.
But guys, please check out that book as well. But Dirk had brought up that tonight I really wanted to come on and announce something for Heartland Blood, which is that in honor of the halfway point and having passed 50% funded, I drew a variant cover for the book. So I'm not the main artist on the series. That's my collaborator, Nate Wells, who is incredible. One of the best working artists in the field right now.
His stuff is very cool. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also an artist in my own right. So to kind of deviate between our two audiences, maybe try to get a little extra push at this happens when I drew a variant cover. So
Cool.
here live are the inks for this variant cover I've drawn.
Oh, this is cool.
We'll try to
That
put
is-
the camera if I can. There we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, there you are.
Oh,
So-
that's awesome.
Awesome.
That is
This
great.
was a pitch I had to Nate from the beginning for the cover. And it kind of snuck its way into the book with the vampire bat panel I brought up.
Yeah,
last.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have a vampire bat and the blood is going down into a milk bucket,
Into the milk bucket. Yep.
Very cool.
right? But so we ended up translating it for this variant cover. But scene first here, everybody.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah.
That's sharp.
Heartland Blood.
And-
It's the
and can I-
return of the vampire bat.
Can I give you some credit for look? I'm all about promotion. I mean, I am like insane for promotion, and like you got on Twitter and you told everyone to tune in tonight to see the reveal of that cover. Congratulations to you, sir, for playing the promotion game correctly.
Yep.
Oh, I'm pushing it hard. People,
You are.
everybody who follows me is so tired of hearing about either of these projects. So
I know.
anybody who's watching the show
Yeah.
doesn't follow me, this might be the first time hearing about them. So that's great. You're not
Yeah.
getting tired of my voice or my texts and tweets and promotional imagery. So
Never.
that's good.
We've started a campaign on Friday, and I'm thinking already people are sick of hearing this.
Right. Right.
And we got 3 more weeks of this. So I mean, I feel for you. And can we talk just for a minute more about Vance Launchpad? Because let me tell you something. That was the project that spoke immediately to me.
Yeah, me
not
too.
just the concept, but the art is stunning. I mean, it's like so up my alley. It is so well rendered. It's such a cool concept. I mean, for me, the whole package is there. I am stunned that thing is not running
I
along
am
with the other
too.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it has been. I'm trying to look for it now. I didn't think to prepare it. I should have. Oh, I have it right here, everybody. It hasn't been scooped up yet. We also are offering this original drawing I did of
Here,
Vance
let me get
Launchpad
you.
on
Oh,
that
nice.
campaign.
Oh, that's cool.
See, that's a good.
rendition.
Awesome.
Well done.
That's a good piece.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so we're offering this as well as an add-on to the tiers, but
Cool.
This is just to showcase Johnny's design for the character is so perfect. It's
Certainly.
perfectly pulpy, and it's got that fish bulb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about it should be selling, and it's honestly been very difficult for the both of us in terms of putting our heart and soul into this project and not seeing the return up front. But Vance Launchpad is a great book, everybody. If you really want to see Johnny Wise succeed in terms of crafting one of the best indie books ever made, you got to support Vance Launchpad. It's going to be great.
How are you not running over to this Kickstarter to support? I mean, seriously, to support this. I mean, go look at the art. It's so on target and so cool. You shared something that was like a kind of a concept where you had kind of like the Blade Runner background and the character that you put out there, and then obviously your artist took that and ran with it. I thought that was very cool. Like I said, you're so on board with so many things that I like in that comic series. I really want to make sure, to the best of my ability, to get some people over there to support that thing. And it's not like you're asking for a lot of money on these things. I mean, come on. Yeah, I see some comics that are listed at like $35 for a 24-page comic. I mean, how much are you offering the regular book for?
Well, yeah, two things, Dirk. Your audience alone should just be backing the book because of how much you want to see it alone. Which only
Please!
Makes my heart flutter knowing that people are so excited for that project. But yeah, either project, Heartland Blood and Vance Launchpad, are being offered with exchange rates because Vance Launchpad is being done through British pounds because of Johnny's location.
Right.
But we're offering them both for practically cover price. Heartland Blood is a $5 physical issue.
Come on.
$3 digital for a 22-page single chapter.
If you walked into a comic book shop, you're most likely going to pay more for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you pick it up and walk it to the counter, physically, you're going to pay more for that. And like
Plus
I said,
price of gas. If you stop and get food,
thank you.
That's true.
Once you're in the comic shop, you're going to pick up more than
Right.
that.
Right.
Funny.
And I mean, $5 for both of those, they run right around that.
Yeah, it's slightly above or below for Vance. I forget for the digital. I think it's a little bit less than $3, but for the physical, it's a little bit more than the $5. But it's within the same general price.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I saw something that I really liked the other day. I'm not going to name what it is. And it was I think it was a 29-page comic or something. And they were literally going, it was either $25 or $30. And it was like issue 3. And it's like, I'm very interested in this, but I can't, I mean, I got to pay for gas. I mean, I have to eat tomorrow. Are you kidding me? You're ripping me for $25 or $30 on it. I mean, are you James Tinian? What's going on?
On Reddit, that was something that came up because I was promoting these books, and somebody had commented and said generally, like, these look great, but like Kickstarter comics are expensive. I don't know if I can back these. And I replied immediately. I was like, "We're just doing cover price that would be competitive for something you would buy in stores."
I mean,
$5.50 is what Vance Launchpad breaks down.
Come
to.
on, please.
Yeah.
Will everyone go support? Look, here's the here's the stuff here. Here is the Kickstarter for Heartland Blood, which is a horror comic, and by God, and there's the alternate cover.
Yeah,
folks.
you want the
You're
alternate
seeing,
cover.
Yeah.
You're seeing that live. Look, this is a horror comic. I've heard that horror comics do well on Kickstarter, and obviously you rode that wave with this project, and it looks like it's in pretty good shape, but it's still not funded, people. So get over there and support Heartland Blood immediately. But here's the thing. This is a red alert. Get over to Vance Launchpad. Are you kidding me? It's called Vance Launchpad.
That alone should pretty much say it all right there.
Look at this. How are you not buying this comic right now? It's, look, $5 or $6. Come on, man.
Here, Dirk.
Fun project, guys. And Johnny
Please.
alone is just an incredible artist. Oh, here's the page.
There you go. Good.
There's some of Johnny's work.
There you
on
go.
the project.
You want to space through that a little bit? Look at this. Look at this artwork, folks.
It's cool. I'm actually at the website right now looking
This
at
is this is really quality foundational stuff and great color. The color is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
I
not
love that cover.
amateurish stuff. This looks like, something that would come out from Image or Dark Horse. I mean, look at this. Come on,
Just
folks.
the detail in this panel alone is fantastic.
Are you not on? Are you watching this show? Are you on the internet? Get over to this now. It's $5. Come on.
Don't let the UK exchange rate scare you.
Don't.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Don't make
Yeah.
me beg.
yeah. $5.50 for the physical issue that's a heck of a deal.
Would you mind bringing up Heartland Blood too,
I
so
sure
so
can.
we can show that? We have a few comments here. I don't know if it's about what we're talking about, but it better be.
Here's Heartland Blood.
Holy cats! Here's
Hey,
Steve.
there's Steve.
Steve!
Sean is telling us that he was the second backer on that.
Sean, thank you so much.
I'm going to say Vance Launchpad. I also backed both of these comics.
I did too.
Okay, bless you, Steve. Steve is on his way for both of those comics.
Yes.
Oh, Steve, too kind of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, and Steve, be sure later, since you're just now noticing us, to check out the other one too. So, from earlier.
Right. We have a lot of Kickstarters going on here tonight, and I know that it's something else. But come on, man. This is about independent creators.
Hey, for those of you that
Hey,
are curious about the bat,
There's our pal right there.
there's our bat. Hold on.
By the way, I didn't say this, but I think that Nate Wells is
There he
going
is.
to be on in a couple of weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually really excited to come on.
Is there a possibility we could get your other artist on as well
Yeah, by all
at
means.
the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me
Get a twofer.
Let me find out with Johnny because I know he is located in Wales,
I know.
and so the
I know.
time differential might be massive. But
Well,
might
let
be
me tell
willing
you,
to
it's
6
about
hours,
6
Mike.
hours.
yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be about 6 hours off, and we start at 7. So if he's a night owl, probably no big deal. If he goes to sleep at 10 or 11, then that's okay because we're also doing an interview with the three of you, right?
yes. Mm-hmm. We are just starting to work on the scheduling for that as well.
Right. And so we're going to do an independent interview with you for Indie Hype, and we'll do that at your convenience and make sure that these stories get out there. Because come on, they're both quality projects. You guys should be supporting
Yes.
good stuff.
I mean, the name Vance Launchpad alone should pique your interest.
This is a no-brainer, folks.
And the vampire bat. The vampire bat is cute. Come on, guys.
Oh,
Really?
it's adorable. Yeah, but guys, at 10 o'clock, actually within the hour on the Heartland Blood page, that's when the variant cover is going to go live, and we're going to show the colored version on there as well.
Nice.
I know I sent it to you, Dirk. It's not a big deal if we don't show it on the show, but the colored variant cover will be up at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm at on the Heartland Blood Kickstarter page.
Cool.
10 p.m.
Nice.
Eastern. It's 9 o'clock. We're probably still going to be live during
Well,
that. So,
yeah.
Beth, if you'll remember that and refresh that page, we'll show it during.
Yeah, I still got it.
I'll make sure.
It's off We just lost Mike.
We
again.
lost Mike. That's
Mike
not
dropped again.
No.
that's not unusual. He'll be back. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Michael? Is there anything that they need to know about about your Kickstarters or anything else?
Well, I mean, just for either project, the big thing with Kickstarter comics is how much you're funding and what you're funding for.
Yes.
For both these projects, we really wanted to make sure that we were able to financially support the creation of them, which is, if you're looking at the price range and you're wondering why is it so steep compared to like what the cost of printing might be, the base or the funding goals we set were to account for our ability to survive while making the books. And I know I had spoken to you guys off camera last time I was on about how the future of comics is this weird crowdfunding indie space where everybody's kind of doing what they want to do, kind of like the author space, the actual novel space, where you just write your book, and if there's an audience for it, it'll get picked up and it'll find its roots. But
you have to support it.
Yeah,
Right.
You have to support what you love, or it will not be there. People will find other things to do with their free time.
yeah.
Yeah, but
You
this is
got to
the future
support
of
new
comics,
stuff.
people. Yeah, it's crowdfunding. That's how, all the up and coming creators who you're going to find and love and cherish the books for and get convention signings from are on Kickstarter and Indiegogo and other crowdfunding sites, Patreon, and now the whole Substack thing. So, honestly, the only thing I have to say is support comic book creators, like whichever ones you choose.
Please. Yeah, and
Okay.
they should be supporting your stuff.
Yeah, Dirk, I just supported Advanced Launchpad.
There we go. That's what I'm talking
yes.
about.
It looks
Thank you
awesome.
so
It looks
much.
great, Mike. I'm excited.
Mike, whenever you launch your Kickstarters you were talking about before I got on, I guarantee I'm gonna drop for some tears on those. Whenever you get those up, I'll be there for it.
Well, I'm excited to sit down and get all of it done. Probably, once it gets to the end of the year, then I'm going to really be able to focus on it more. So,
Mike is one of the fastest people I know. Mike is very fast.
Sergio
Very
Aragonés
fast.
is still faster than me.
Oh, yeah.
Steve just supported
that guy
both of them.
can lap me at my fastest.
Kim Jong-gi is insane as well.
He is awesome too.
Look at this. Steve says done and done. Go check your Kickstarters.
So there you go,
Thank you,
Steve.
Steve.
Nice.
Really appreciate
Hey,
it.
He's
And-
always good for his word. He has helped us get several people over the hump.
And
before.
also
we
the big
appreciate
thing
that,
is,
Steve.
the big thing is to share,
Oh, yeah.
on your social
If
media.
you can't afford it, and I get that. If you can't afford it, please
Share.
Just share the thing. Take
Yeah.
the Kickstarter, say this is really cool, get out there and share it. That's worth its weight in gold, because everything about being an independent creator is about getting eyeballs
Yeah.
on the project. Independent creators don't have the Marvel and DC money. They just have a lot more creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have the boundaries that the big companies have set on themselves too.
Yeah.
So, and Mike, while you were showing your cover, a great idea. You should do a 3D printed cow with the vampire bat on it as a stretch goal. That would be freaking cool to have that sitting right there on your bookcase, right there next to your copy of the book. And when people come in and they look, they go, "What the hell is that?" And you're going like, "Dude, Heartland, right there." Vampire
I
bat.
would buy one
cow.
of those. I would definitely buy one of those.
And then
for
go
sure.
extremely insane, hollow it out, run a little feeder tube and have blood dripping out of it, down into the bucket. And it's like a circulating pump.
All
I'll
the
go.
clothes in my shelf will be gone. It would just be a Heartland shrine. It was
I'll
just-
go.
See, there you go.
I'll go even further. Have the cow there, and then your background have like stand up background, like a what do you call it? The little bottle. Just make like a poster background behind it, just the background without the cow on it, and then there you go.
Yeah,
The same as your cover with your hair and everything. So,
nice
That
little
would be
diorama.
So
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, like an actual
A diorama. That's the word I
3D
was looking
diorama
for.
cover. That would
Yeah.
be amazing.
Michael, did you offer any commission? You got a lot of good artists, including you, involved in this thing. Did you offer any commission pieces through this thing?
We did for Heartland Blood. Johnny, who is the artist on Advanced Launchpad, works almost entirely digital. So the commission thing, we weren't quite sure how we would figure it out based off just the medium he uses, just being on Procreate and iPad. But with Heartland Blood, we had a $20 tier for individual 6x4 sketch cards by Nate, but they sold out super quick. So if we
Did you say $20?
Yep.
15 actually.
for a sketch card plus the physical issue and the digital issue. So
That's
you're
why
getting
I
the whole package
Wow.
for $20.
Okay,
They
look,
sold
I
out
do,
so quick.
Michael, I do digital art and like commissioned art and stuff, and people pay me, good money to do digital pieces. It would be okay if he did digital pieces. If he's willing to do one or two, it might give you another, couple $100, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we actually do have a print. I forgot to bring this up. We actually added a print by Johnny of the factory models, who are the evil robots up at the bottom of my piece. But the factory models are the evil robot gang of the store.
I love the name of those.
But Johnny made a beautiful, absolutely stunning print.
Cool.
Of the factory models, 6x4, and it's beautiful. Green and orange hues. It's phenomenal. Absolutely stellar.
One other off-the-wall idea for digital art is to do an NFT. So you mint the art, and it becomes an original piece of art that you could do, and that might attract some attention or something. Just shooting some ideas at you.
Yeah, just totally bank on the whole NFT crowd and just totally under with Advanced Launchpad in the second half here with it.
I mean, it is in the future. It kind of works.
That's true. It is kind of that future art currency model.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
a marketing idea right there for it.
I'm going to give you another idea. I would love to have a factory models T-shirt.
For
that'd
real.
be cool.
For real.
I wouldn't mind having one of those either.
I just like little factory models right here, and then like a picture of the gang on the back back of the factory models.
That's a winner idea.
Yep. Now I got to go in and
chicken
make the
dinner.
logo.
Yep, there you go. Come on, get on it. Get on
I
it.
got to. That's first thing tomorrow. Is making that typography effect for the
That's just a cool name for a gang of robots. The factory.
It certainly
models.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm
Love
Or a
that
gonna,
idea.
pop band.
I'm gonna need a large size on that. I mean, don't make like small and super small and extra super small.
I'm with
You're
Dirk.
gonna have to have
Like
like a
all sizes.
larger size T-shirt for dudes like me.
And chicks like me.
Manly man sizes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
mountain sizes.
I'll take that. Steve
Yeah.
says that he has a jobby job now, so let's rock these Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Steve is going to be the Kickstarter whale.
Yeah.
because he's got a
Like
jobby
fun.
job.
Because he's working.
He's working for a living. All right, Michael, we're going to talk a little bit about Fan Expo, but what I want to do is get your Kickstarters out there one more time. So here is the Kickstarter for Heartland Blood, in case you need to know that. And all of this is right now, it's in the details. If you're watching this, wherever you're watching, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Twitter, if it's on Facebook, these links are on there right now. I put it in the show notes, and it will be on even when I convert this thing on YouTube. So if you don't want to figure out how to spell all that, by the way, you could just go and type in Heartland Blood on Kickstarter, and it'll take you to you. But if you want to make it more complicated, you could go to the YouTube channel and you could click on it directly there. So, and I mean, please support that as well. I'm pushing the Advanced Launchpad because I'm stunned that it's not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10,000% funded. So, and then there's Finch, the daring exploits of Advanced Launchpad. Let's get that correct.
Don't let those pounds scare you.
Support the book, guys. It's going to be great. It's going to be an excellent story.
No, it's like $6, folks. I challenge you to find a Kickstarter where you're going to get a physical comic for that price. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah. No.
And these are both great concepts and both great art. So, I mean, what else do you want, folks? I mean, great concepts and great art. Get over there immediately, please.
And decent writing by myself. So
Yes,
that's-
like I said,
There you
the
go.
concepts are there. The concepts are there. They're all high concept. I mean, get over there and follow these things. I mean, look, here's an alternate. Maybe what I've said, maybe begging hasn't worked. How about the fact that everyone who's working on this thing are superstars in the making? And if you invest in these guys right now, you're going to have some rare shit for when their stuff takes off When people are begging them to do their artwork and begging them to do their writing, you're going to have some stuff that no one else has and is going to go through the roof, and you're going to get it for $6.
Right.
Yep.
First,
Mark my words.
printing people.
Mark my words.
One. All it takes
Absolutely.
is one. Getting in front of the right
Yep.
person.
It'll happen.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm just going to think back to the days of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
When I sold those, I made a lot of money on those.
Ditto.
Yep.
Those funky black and white comics with a lot of creativity and a lot of energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They made an empire out of that stuff. All right, Michael, we're going to let you go, but not for long. I'm going to do an interview with you next week, and let's try to get, if we can, let's try to get both of your artists on to be full featured guests in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll wrangle up Johnny and get him to stay up. I'll pump him up with caffeine from across the pond. And
Red Bull. Have him walk around the block a couple of times.
Yeah, just get his energy, blood flowing a little bit.
We won't keep him long. We'll get him on at 7, and we'll hit it. We'll give him a good 30 minutes or an hour for the project, because I really want this thing to fund. I want to read it.
Likewise.
I'll do what I have to do to get a copy in my hands. Okay.
Whatever it takes, people.
Whatever it takes.
But no, guys, thank you so much for this opportunity to come back on and update you at this halfway point. And I'm looking forward to coming back on and talking about them with my collaborators and even seeing you guys interact with them on the individual episode with them, because Nate and Johnny are two of my closest friends, two of the nicest people I've ever met in comics. But you guys will love them; they're great.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for being
Thanks a
here.
lot.
Thank you again,
Yes,
Michael.
Thanks for stopping by, Michael.
Have a
Bye,
great
guys.
evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you,
too,
Michael.
Take it easy, guys.
All right,
Mike,
good
nice
night.
meeting you. Take it easy.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. And then there were 4.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
4 and a snoring cat.
We put the cat to sleep. That's a
She's
bad
not
sign.
like- She's sitting there snoring.
I've got a snoring dog right below my feet. So
All right, we're an hour and 42 minutes into this episode, and we're just about to get to our second feature, and here it comes.
Yay.
So we're going to talk a little bit about Fan Expo,
Yay.
and I'm going to try to serve up a screen without crashing my computer. So,
Da-da-da-da.
Beth, if I get kicked off here, then you got the show.
You.
Enjoy the show.
You.
Don't say anything bad about me while
While you're
while
rebooting.
I'm gone, while I'm rebooting or taking my computer to the shop. All right, so this is how we start here. We're going to take a walk through memory lane for those
You're
of
gonna
you who
start
are
with the
interested.
food. Really?
This is just the
Start
way
with
that
the
it turned
food.
out. It just
Yeah.
turned out this way. I went to the Velvet Taco in Dallas 2 times. Robert went like 42 times. I think that he.
Jeez.
I think he
think he liked
literally went at least 3 times. At least 3. I was there for 2 of those. This was what I chose on Sunday. On the left is their buffalo taco. It's got some cilantro in it.
Way too
It
much
has-
cilantro on that puppy for me.
It has some blue cheese, and it's got some carrots on it. It was spectacular. I ordered that one twice. The thing in the middle is kind of a pork style thing. It was very tangy. It was very spicy.
Carnitas.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Yeah, I believe that is the correct term there. It was excellent. It completely fell apart on me though. It was a big mess. It was a big tasty mess. And then the thing on the right is their chicken and waffles taco, which was kind of
That's
like
interesting.
it's kind of like Jesus came down and made me a taco
Oh my god.
and then put a little love in it. He put like Jesus
Aw.
put some love in the taco.
Jesus
That-
is love.
It was that good. It was chicken. It was like chicken breaded with some bacon, and then it had what they called an apple slaw along with that. Okay, everyone?
I haven't been.
Does everyone smell what I'm cooking? And then it also had some onions in there, and then it had like a maple aioli. Are you still with me? Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Hey, Dirk.
And then
we're trying to catch up.
And then it had like a waffle taco shell. Okay?
Hey, Dirk.
That's what we're talking about.
Dirk, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been to the Velvet Taco because of this, this Backstreet Boys reunion tour that's been
I hear you.
away. So you're not telling me anything I haven't already experienced.
I am ready to go back. I would like to be eating there right now.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was worth,
It's the distance for me.
Yeah.
Steve apparently went for the first time yesterday. Steve, wait a minute. I got to talk about Steve. We're going to talk about Fan Expo in Dallas. Someone named Steve lives in Dallas, and I was going to get to see him for the first time ever, and he didn't show up after 3 days.
Dun, dun, dun.
I did not get to meet Steve. Okay?
I
That's all.
didn't get Steve either. I know.
That's all.
He failed us both.
I really wanted to meet Steve.
Who failed us both, Dirk?
Yeah. Steve, I live in another time
Frankly,
zone.
Frankly, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Okay. I'm hurt, Steve. Steve's here. Yeah.
You're getting cold for Christmas now, Steve.
Whatevs.
He just pulled a Christmas story on you, Steve. Who's Steve?
Right. You guys are gonna have to chime in here. Whose ever this is, because it's all a mishmash. I just
That's
threw it in here.
best. That's
all right.
best.
Tell us what this is. Give us the 10-cent tour on this.
This was by an artist by the name of Sean Anderson. His stuff was
nice.
All of his stuff was really oriental in flavor with with some really nice
very
foil
shiny
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has
I actually picked
some
that
full
one up.
printing on it.
Yeah. I picked that one up for my daughter because she's a huge Black Panther fan, and I picked that one up for her.
Very cool.
And those colors are very much Caitlin. She loves oranges.
Oh, she
and
likes
yellows.
that? Yeah.
The coloring on that was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Well,
when I
that was
showed it to her, I think she started crying.
That was a slam. Awesome.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So this was on Sunday.
That's the
By
hall,
Sunday,
yeah.
it was kind of
Slower.
winding down a little bit. Let's say all of this area right here is the cosplay people, and as you can see there, I mean, I want you to imagine this. You see this line that's out here. All of this area on Saturday was absolutely packed from here all the way past where I took pictures of. It was packed with people.
Yes.
Like they were, going to get to see whoever's popular.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez. Like they were waiting to see Selena Gomez, okay? Whoever's popular.
As if Michael Jackson were
Chris Evans, yes. Michael Jackson
was
had come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With his glove.
Yes.
Here we go. Celebrity autographs area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were way over here. You see the sign right here? It says Artist Alley. We were kind of right under that, like right around here.
Yeah. That's about right. Yeah.
Pretty much.
This thing was massive. Anyway, I just wanted to I took a few pictures of this thing. I took a lot of pictures with my camera, but let's just say that I haven't downloaded those yet. And yesterday I did nothing, and today I had a photo shoot, and so I didn't have time to download this silly thing.
That's
But
okay, Dirk.
I will share them later.
Hey, I know that guy.
Hey, I know those guys.
Walt took a really great picture of us at the beginning of the convention, and so there we are. Walt is taking the selfie there. You can see the table. Hopefully we took another picture of the deal. Sean had a really great table cover that he did for Ranking Studios, and you can see the top of it here. But I never seen a table cover that looks like this. It was pretty salty.
He did a fab job of getting a really good dye sublimation print for that. That was really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Walt with the dye sublimation. You can see that I have a sketchbook cracked open. I mean, I am a digital dude now. I actually did some art. I
was enjoying watching you do it the other day.
You can see my piece right there. I sold it. I didn't sell it at the convention. I sold it online, which is kind of where my field is. But anyway, just to prove that we were there, there's the picture of us doing our stuff. All right, Beth, the 13-year-old girl, took a few pictures with a cosplayer and two, and you want to describe this one here, Beth?
Hey, I mean, this is how would we describe him? This is
it's Fat Thor.
Fat Thor. That's the only way to describe him.
From
Beach body Thor.
Right down to the slippers on his feet. I mean, he was
the
great.
Crocs, not slippers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's got Crocs on. Yeah.
I remember when I saw him coming around. I thought, man, you nailed it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was probably one of the coolest cosplays because it was one of those costumes that's out of the box. It's that version of Thor. You know, most people wouldn't think to cosplay. It's like the costume
perfect.
I'm helping Dan with right now. It's a version of a character that most people won't think of, and it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be, oh my God, you're Fat Thor. Come here, I want to picture.
I'm gonna say that's his hair too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was his.
Yeah, that's all real. That's all real.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Back here, by the way, back along this wall was where the name artists were in Artist Alley and stuff, which I didn't realize until Sunday because I literally sat behind that dumb table all that time. But anyway, oh, I'm so glad you got this picture of
nice
I walked
Davros.
behind Davros and I was like, how's it hanging, Davros? And he's like, it is doing well. I am looking for the doctor. And I'm like, okay. The guy sounded like Davros. The costume was phenomenal.
I mean,
and
it moved. That thing moved.
Costume. Yeah.
He drove that thing around
He
didn't just sit in it. I mean, the thing actually functioned just like Davros and the old deal. And in an interesting choice of doctors here. We don't usually get this one. You usually get like the Tom Baker version or whatever.
Right.
That's number 6.
Yeah.
If you're going way back in time, or you get one of the new versions.
Right.
That's either 6 or 7. That was the other Baker.
He was another
actor.
Baker, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was the other Baker.
Yeah.
What cracked me up is
we have someone who shall not be named, who is a Doctor Who fan, who might be able to give us the name of that doctor.
Yes, thank you, Colin Baker. Was he 6 or 7? He who shall not be named.
There we go.
Colin Bayer.
There we go. He corrected himself.
Colin Baker,
Steve also says, "Is this the part where I grovel on apologies?"
Yes.
I think
Groveling.
the point. I think we're past the point of apologies and groveling.
Okay,
It's just-
number 6.
Groveling is good.
I think you're into the monetary apology section now, Steve.
Steve says that. See, he thought he's the only one that could really readily and believably pull off Fat Thor. You have to have the height and you have to have the girth.
Steve has the height, but I'm not going to comment on girth.
I don't think he's really quite got the girth, but
I'll go here.
I would be able. You know what? I would be able to chime in correctly on that had I met Steve.
Yeah.
I will say this: Steve is what 6'4"? Steve 6'4"?
Steve has the height. Steve doesn't have the height. Hair.
He's got the. I hear that he has the height, but I can't say for sure.
See, I don't have the hair. I couldn't.
See,
I've got everything else except for the hair.
I'm also going to point out that Steve missed out on getting one of these.
Come on, Steve. Are you really 6'6"?
What is that, Walt? Is that the Expo pin?
You should be. You should be professionally wrestling.
Oh, I didn't even get one of those. Hey.
Yeah, you did.
I did?
I think so.
You were supposed to get one of those. I did not hand those. Sean got on to me. I was supposed to hand those out to a lot more people, but
Dirk.
I kind of didn't. But look, I didn't want to. I didn't want to hand them out to. Look, I had a list from Sean Wilson of who to hand these out to, and I didn't want to hand them out to people that like in front of other people that weren't supposed to get it.
And
you guys, my address and you can mail mine.
And you guys didn't drop by, in the correct pattern. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was trying not to hurt any. I was trying not to hurt anyone's feelings. And by the way, I had one for Steve. He was on the list.
Oh,
He was on
okay.
the magic list, but not at the con.
Oops.
Not at the con.
Whoops.
Terrible.
Steve says he did give it the Kickstarter. I appreciate it. Have you given
He
Bad
did.
Candy? Did you go to the Bad Candy Kickstarter? Hang on a second.
He better the Bad Candy Kickstarter. He better be like.
Are you on the Bad Candy Kickstarter? Where
he's
is
signing
that?
off. Oh, here. Do you need?
Where is the? I can't believe it's not right here. It should be right here.
Hold on. Hold on. I got.
Here we go. Here it is.
You got it,
Steve. Did you give it the? I mean, I have a cover there. Steve, what do I got to do to get some of that sweet Steve money? You support all these people you don't know, and you don't come visit me at the con. You know, I got a Kickstarter running over here at this Bad Candy gig. I got a cover. I mean, come on, man. Can we get $10 out of you? Or?
Hey, if you can't find it, Steve, I shared it on my Facebook page.
All right, man. I mean, I got a Kickstarter
There you
running
go.
too. I mean, I'm just saying.
Steve says he's signing off. No, I don't think so.
No, you got it. This is your penance. Your penance is to listen to this.
His penance is to see Beth, living her best 13-year-old girl life.
I sincerely wanted to meet you, Steve, but I will be back in Dallas at some point, and we will make that happen. This looks like a super great Jafar.
He was a great
That
Jafar.
was a great Jafar.
Yeah,
I mean, that
great
Jafar is on target.
right down to the voice he was using.
Oh,
things
he did the
was
voice
saying.
too?
He did the voice too. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
So when I got the picture, I walked over there and I said, "Can I hold Iago?" And he's like, "You are more than welcome to hold Iago." By the way, shout out
funny.
to Jeree. She's the one who took probably half of my,
She took these pictures?
13-year-old fangirl pictures.
We
for
have
me.
one picture that's coming up that Sean is going to wish that he had gone to this thing. I'm telling you right now, it's coming up. I don't know where it is, but he's going to go, oh man, I wish I could get my picture in that object.
I know, right?
Hey, look at this. You're with
Please no, I'm holding a purple lightsaber.
How did
Jedi is
Look at
Mace
you.
Windu.
I mean, usually you don't get to hold the lightsaber.
I asked them, I said, "Do you guys have the purple lightsaber?" They're like, "Hold on." And they went through like 3 or 4 of them and they found the purple one for me.
Wow.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
cool. This Jawa is like the Kobe Bryant of
Of Jawas.
Jawas.
Seriously, seriously.
No,
Yeah,
the Shaquille O'Neal. The Shaquille
Right.
O'Neal.
That's more after
yeah.
who was the Chinese guy?
Oh,
Yao
Ming.
Yao
Yao
Ming. He's
Yao
like the
Ming.
Yao Ming of Jawas.
No, I'm
Here's
gonna go with Shaquille because there's a little girth on this one.
Okay.
So
Yes,
here's the fun
Shaquille.
thing about this.
Granted.
These lightsabers, they were actually doing
Sorry, buddy.
fight. Yes, Steve, it is. They were actually doing fight displays with these lightsabers, teaching people how to do how to.
That would be that would be hilarious.
You just broke
To just do
wall
a
with that
6'6" Jawa.
Yeah.
one. You just broke wall.
You should put on 6-inch heels and
And
do
do
like a
6'6" Jawa.
7-foot Jawa.
That would be funny.
I'm gonna say pitch that story to Marvel for a comedy Star Wars company.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this, Beth?
This is Bella. Bella is one of the many 67 Chevy Impalas that was used on the TV show Supernatural. Yes,
That's cool.
Jensen Ackles' butt has been in that car and he has to rest that steering wheel.
This is an actual
It was used in
car
one-
from
Yep.
Supernatural that you can sit in.
Yep. It was used in one episode of season 9.
Look how shiny that thing
It is in cherry condition.
Oh, it's pretty.
interior- The
Hey, Beth.
interior was
That's
just
sharp.
Beth, I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
Mom.
you that
I
this-
know someone named Sean Wilson who is a bit of a fan of Supernatural.
Yeah.
at one of these cars has been at. In fact, the last show I went to was 3 years ago. They had the car there then too.
And that's
So
probably the one because
You didn't come in a leather jacket.
No, so what they were offering was you could have a picture. You could buy a package with one picture. You could buy a package with 3, and if you also gave a small donation on top of it, you got to use all the props and wear the jacket.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Were the props real?
No, the props were not real.
Okay.
But you can't tell. I mean, I picked up the Colt pistol, and it was plastic and it was light as can be, and I'm going, yeah, okay, that's fine. But
they're probably not going to give you a Colt.
No, they're not going to give you a real
No,
Colt. But
no.
it didn't matter.
No.
The quality.
If they're
of the
requiring
prop-
us to wear COVID masks,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get a real Colt.
Right.
the quality
Yeah.
of the props, the way that they have the people who run this have kept up this car, it's definitely a serious homage
It's pretty.
to the TV show. And yeah, that car, oh my god.
Yeah, that car is a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve has a concept. Marvel
Fat Thor
crossover
versus-
series. Fat Thor versus Fat Tall Jawas. In game. We haven't had a Marvel Star Wars crossover yet. I mean, this
Well,
could
we
be
had
the
it
one.
already. Yeah.
Hey, and they also own Aliens, so we could see that too.
Yes, Sean,
That's-
Jensen actually has, so 2 of the cars that were used in the series, they kept in perfect running order. Jensen has the one that he pretty much drove from season 1 through 15.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it is at the family brewery
Oh,
here in
wow.
Austin.
Yeah.
And he will take pictures with fans in and on and around the car.
Cool.
Cool.
Jared Padalecki actually has the second one that was
That's appropriate.
kept. Yeah. Now, what's funny is when Dan was leaving the expo on Sunday, they were behind the trailer with Bella on it. So he showed me, he goes, here, I figured you'd get a kick out of it. He's showing me the pictures where all I can see is the tail end of the car or the trailer pulling away.
That's funny.
Sean's chiming in now on that story. He says
Yep.
that Jensen kept one of the cars, and apparently the other guy did the other. He says he's shown it on Instagram a few times.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those guys definitely deserve to have their own version of that car.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
Of course.
they did their time for sure. Beth, tell us about this.
This was one of the best T'Challa cosplays I saw there.
It's awesome.
It was not just, your Party City costume. This was a full-blown costume that they put together.
It looks
Really
like it's
well
leather.
done. It is. It was leather. Really well done.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some fur on it. I like it. Yeah, well done.
It's sharp looking.
All right, what's this, Beth?
This is a print. Can you zoom in on the signature down there?
I can. I'll try.
So Bob McLeod was at the expo,
Mhm.
and I remember reading Bob McLeod comics as a kid and a teenager. So being able to meet him, and I actually had a wonderful discussion with him about, the Star Wars run that he did, which I'm pretty sure I probably have a few of still in my comic book box. I know I have a couple of Captain Americas that he did.
He had a long run of inking G.I. Joe.
Long run of inking
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
And Transformers, by the way.
Yeah.
I have another credit because I looked him up after this.
Yeah, he was.
Well, let me get this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
He inked John Buscema on Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Some of the
He had
coolest.
he had some of those prints there, Dirk.
Not too shabby.
So
Yeah.
here's the clincher with this one. I was talking with him and I told him about Taskforce Geek. I have his card. He said that he would love to come on the show and just to work out a date and time with him.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah,
we
he
need
was
to make that happen. That would
We
be
need to
a
jump on
great
that.
moment.
Yeah.
That would be a great
Yeah,
moment.
I
We
met
would
him a
love
few
to
years
have
ago.
him.
He's-
Did you?
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the Age of Comics store here in Albuquerque had just done a remodel, and he and Chris Claremont both came in for their grand reopening.
Whoa.
Wow,
And-
what?
Nice.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
And so it's
And
That's a lot of-
Claremont?
super awesome. And I had never seen
Wow.
that many issues of New Mutants in my life, the graphic novel, until that
Right.
day.
New
Yep.
Mutants is
Yep.
one of his big
Yes.
deals.
One of its big
Oh,
ones,
yeah.
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 Yes.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
it was
Ken-
real nice, and I forgot to bring anything for him to sign.
I
But
I went to his table a few times, and anything you wanted signed, New Mutants, was an extra price.
Yeah, it was.
oh yeah.
Oh.
Mine, I actually had a pencil drawing out in my portfolio out in the car, so I got him to ink one of the characters on one of the pieces.
Nice.
So yeah, it was really cool. I just said, I don't care which one you ink, and he picked a character I figured he would, which was Rubenette from Celtic Knights, and
Cool.
it was totally worth the money. And then I got a Claremont to sign the Star Trek Dead of Honor graphic novel that he and Adam Hughes did, and then he drew me a Enterprise inside the book.
Cool.
And he goes, I don't normally draw, and from the drawing of that Enterprise, there's a reason.
Right.
So
No kidding.
But Bob was so nice because he stayed after their scheduled time at the comic book store to finish it up, and
Nice.
wouldn't leave until it was done. So deeply appreciate that. Awesome. He'd be great to have on the show just because he's so nice like that.
I was really kind of bummed out
I got
by
you, Steve.
the lack of people.
I'll put that up in a second.
I was kind of bummed out by the lack of people that were at Bob's table. And after taking a really good look at the crowd, it's obvious that a lot of younger comic book people simply do not know who these people are, who these people like Bob McLeod, really set the bar high for some of these younger comic book people coming in, and
man,
it's sad that they just don't know who they are.
It's all on the shoulders of these guys.
And you know what? I'm gonna say that when I was at his table the first time, because I went back to his table with you, Beth. So the day before, I was at his table, and when I started thumbing through his artwork, that's when people started showing up. And this was on Saturday. So Saturday,
isn't that outrageous though?
That's outrageous.
It is.
And then like after a few people came by and looked through the book along with me, and then just kind of wandered off, there was one kid who showed up who was probably I would say he was either between 16 and 20 years old, and he showed up with a New Mutants comic, an old back issue, and he wanted him to sign it. And then he began to explain how he was very appreciative that Bob had created a Vietnamese character.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And he was a Vietnamese kid, and he was saying that he stumbled upon New Mutants and had realized that there was a Vietnamese character, and he's been going back and buying all of these old New Mutants comic books with this one particular character in them because there was a Vietnamese character in there, and then he said he enjoyed the story. So, so on the flip side, there's a group of new comic readers, younger comic readers who are going back and discovering these old comics, and that was a really good thing to see.
Yeah. So let's not bury the lead here. Beth, I guess, got us Bob McLeod.
I got you guys, Bob McLeod. I got us Bob McLeod. I will reach out to him sometime this week, Dirk, and CC you in on the email.
Cool.
So that we can get him on the show. He's going to be fantastic.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, he was, because I said to him, I said, this is Walt. We do a Geek podcast. I told him all about Taskforce Geek. He pulled out his business card. He said, drop me an email. Let me know when so we can schedule this. Oh,
I'm very excited about talking to him and getting to ask him a bunch of, whatever artist questions and geeky questions, and hopefully get some behind the scenes stories and stuff. I love talking to these guys who have been in the business for a while and who have seen it evolve. I think it's endlessly fascinating, and I also think that it's a crying shame that they don't have the attention that they deserve. These giants have created this industry for all of us, and they definitely deserve to have their stories told and to get our respect and appreciation.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So Steve has said that he bid on all 3 covers for Bad Candy 3. Thank you very much, sir.
Nice.
We deeply appreciate that. That is awesome. Thank you. Sincerely. Look at the cool. Look at what he's doing here with his, like, I don't know, scales or whatever you call that.
Yeah, it was like chainmail.
Everyone has a different way of doing this. That is a very cool way of doing it. And whoever did the coloring carried it on too. And really,
I picked up 2 prints by Bob.
Really brought that out.
That's just one of the Captain America covers I got. I got another one as well.
I picked up one as well.
Yeah.
Here's 13-year-old Beth.
She's been captured
Once
by
again.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorians were in full force at this expo. It was great.
Oh yes, and they all had their own kind of take on their stuff too, as you can see.
Yeah.
What's the story on this cage and stuff? I didn't even see that.
This was down over by the celebrity area and over by the Supernatural car. This is a group of Mandalorian cosplayers. They do their own costumes and everything, and they were, they had a donation box for charity.
They're local here too, by the way.
Yeah, they're local.
Okay, so they're
everything.
like what's the stormtrooper group? What
like
are they
the
called?
501st.
Oh, the
501st. Yeah.
There you go,
Mandalorian.
501st.
Yep.
That's the one I'm looking for. So they're the same thing, but now they're doing it with Mandalorians.
Yep.
Yes.
I love the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I did get I got 2 pictures with the 501st, but the 501st I actually have to download the pictures when they post them up on their site next week.
All right. We'll get those out there.
One thing about that Mandalorian group, by the way, their website, and if I can find it, I will post it on the Taskforce Geek Facebook group page. They have DIY instructions on how to make your own Mandalorian helmets.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
we're talking about from the very low end to the very expensive end. And I've seen some of the helmets made from Home Depot plastic buckets that are phenomenal.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
What?
So Mandalorian is
Yes.
definitely one. That's definitely one I would like to get into. Is doing the Mandalorian.
You know,
costumes.
our friend of the show, G.A. Lungaro, he printed one. He digitally printed one.
Nice.
That is amazing. It
Yes.
looks really good. He didn't just do that. He did the whole armor. I mean, he did the pauldrons and the whatever you call it, chest plate, and etc. Etc. Okay, who brought this thing?
Never mind.
This is one of Beth's here.
Okay, so I actually wound up buying 3 of these. One is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and one is the Avengers. But this one I specifically bought for Dan because Dan is a huge Deadpool fan. Walt, Jerry, and I were walking, through and just looking at stuff on Sunday, and we walked past this artist's table, and I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. You get your 4 turtles standing at a wall, and I just started laughing. And as soon as Walt turned around and realized what I was looking at, he was like, "Oh my God!" And so we started looking, and I saw this one, and I was like, "I've got to get this for Dan. This is priceless."
Yeah, and this artist had so many versions. So there was.
Oh, he did.
There was one that was all the like Lady Avengers or Marvel Lady characters.
Yep.
And their evil opposites or whatever, their villains were in one stall, like laughing at them or something like that. So it's just
the thing that cracks me up on this particular piece is the toilet paper stuck on Wolverine's claws.
Yes.
A lot of people had these clever, series of stuff. We're about to see another one here in a minute, where they have this concept and then they just keep working the concept.
Right.
And so if you want this concept, you go to this artist. It's pretty clever for people who are looking to stand out at these things.
Oh.
Hey, and if you
found a Winter Soldier,
now,
Beth.
I found a Winter Soldier.
Hey, you know what? His art was pretty good.
And believe it or not, that is a young lady in the costume.
Oh, okay, all right.
Wow.
Yep. And there's a young lady in that costume.
You can't tell because of this area right here.
can't.
And let me tell you something. That's a clever deal because the Winter Soldier had a mask.
Right.
The only way I knew it was
Yeah.
a girl was, I thanked them for letting me take the picture, and she looked at me. She's like, "You're the first person that's asked for a picture."
Really?
That's crazy.
That is
It's a great
that's
costume.
that is sad. It's a great costume.
Yeah.
What up with this?
What up with this? Peter Tomasi. So, I'm more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, but I love my Batman. And Joker War is probably one of the few Batman comics I really know. And so when I was first walking around on Saturday before I bumped into Walt, I came across Peter Tomasi's booth. And I started looking at what he had there, and I saw this, and I said, "Oh my God." I said, "This is insane." And, I bought it and got to stand there and talk with Peter for a few minutes about the scripts and everything. We did try to get him on the show. He's not much into doing podcasts, so he politely declined. But it was awesome to meet him and to actually get an actual Batman Detective Comics script for one of those comic books.
Yeah.
And I have to chuckle because throughout the script he refers to Batman as bats. But I thought it was awesome.
That is cool. He did a little sketch there.
Yeah.
Too bad that he wasn't on the show. How about that?
Another Mandalorian. Oh, it's actually the Mandalorian.
This is
Yeah.
the Mandalorian. So I know we all saw a whole bunch of Mandalorians walking around, but this
There was a
guy's-
gaggle of Mandalorians.
Yeah, this guy's costume though was dead on.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it looks
It was-
great.
Yeah, and the guy that was with him, he's like, he'll let you hold Grogu, and I'm like, okay.
Surprised he lets you hold
He let me
Grogu.
hold Grogu. But that's actually
I
metal.
thought only Luke Skywalker got to do that.
No, not the only one that can hold Grogu. Just as a point of fact, though, his costume, the silver pieces are metal. I would say
Really?
probably
Yeah.
a lightweight aluminum, but it is metal.
Wow,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
How did he even do that?
It's immaculate.
It's beautiful. And I want to point something out about this picture. To the left of the Mandalorian, as you're looking at the picture, to the left of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I
lady,
was actually going to ask about her.
This is Padme from Revenge of the Sith. It is pregnant, dead Padme.
Yeah.
Oh,
She even had the flowers in her hair.
Oh
I
my
know
gosh.
at one
Yeah.
point there was an Anakin walking around with her.
Okay.
Someday I caught up with her and actually told her, I told her straight out, I said, "This is a fantastic costume." I said, "What made you come up with it?" And she goes, "The fact that I'm like 8 months pregnant and ready to
that could be a good reason.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What is this guy here in the behind here is photobombing?
It looks like a sloth. We got photo
Yeah,
bombed
he
by
was a sloth. That's all he was. He was a sloth.
All right.
Okay.
Rock on.
There were furries walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were.
The booth right across from Rupp's World had, I think they were quietly or mildly representing furries because there was a fox costume with a purple mohawk on the head.
I saw that. I saw that one.
Steve wants to know if he could pull off a tall, fat, dead Padme.
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Sure, Steve.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes,
Don't forget the
Steve.
flowers in your hair.
I'm saying yes and shaking my head. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But now you know that just means he's going to.
He's going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this piece here?
This is the Captain America piece by Sean Anderson that
That's
goes
sweet.
with the T'Challa one from earlier.
I like this piece a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
did
piece-
too. And Walt knows I
This
wheedled
kind
for
of
few
looks
minutes
like
about whether
a
or not I wanted
David
to get
Mack
it.
piece. You know?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The color
It's
work.
got a little David Mack in there. Or maybe I want to say
Yeah.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Just-
Or
Really, everything this guy had
Yeah.
was
It was gorgeous.
phenomenal.
it's nice. I like the.
I
there's
mean-
I don't know if you can see it, but there's like some text that's going on
Right.
here and
He-
here.
He had some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one
The
that
White
I think
Ranger
that's a
one.
nice
the White
piece.
Ranger one was. I mean,
Yeah.
it was that thing was amazing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a Power Rangers fan, but I would buy that.
Yep. This is one of
Do-do-do-do.
Walt's.
I took this I took this photo, and this guy was just walking by himself.
He was awesome.
And
I love that.
And I had to take this picture the way I took it. He wanted to
Notice
stop.
Notice the hand holding the wallet here with
And
the
the-
Inspector Gadget badge.
and
The spyglass.
the spyglass, and there's something else back there.
Yep.
But he wanted to stop, and I said, "No, keep going. I want this to be an action shot."
Right.
And that's typically the way that I framed it on here. So I want to make something out of this photograph later on this
I
week.
mean,
so.
this was
It's cool.
nice. This was nice. In a case where the mask really doesn't throw off the outfit.
Right. I mean, I really enjoyed this whimsical. For me, this was my favorite whimsical costume.
I have a favorite, and it's coming up. You got a picture of it.
Oh, I got a favorite too.
No, I know. Yep.
It's this one right here.
Yeah, that's the backside.
That is
With
the
my elbow
backside.
in the middle of the
yeah.
picture.
And there, oh no, I guess it's on down the deal. I'll show
on
it in a
down the
minute.
deal.
Go ahead and tell the
Okay.
story on this.
This one, it was a group. This guy had nothing but Rushmore drawings. So he had all these various Rushmore.
Here's
style
another guy
drawings.
with a
With a-
print routine, like a
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had. It's a niche. So
Smart.
the first thing that I saw was that he had the Cobra villains, and from GI Joe, he had the GI Joe villains. He had all Cobra, and I was like, oh, I want that. And then I saw the Transformers, and he had the Decepticons, and I was like, oh, that's cool too. Maybe I can get that one. And then I saw this one, knowing that I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And and I really wanted to get several prints of this to give out, but I didn't have the money. But I want to thank Jerry for getting this for me.
That was nice.
Thank you, Jerry. I owe you.
Yep, that's nice.
But yeah, he had one that was all these different versions of David Bowie, and it was just great. And I asked him, I said, tell me you sell these online. He's like, nope, I don't sell online. He goes, I just do shows. So
Probably
it's
an interesting. I mean, if he's selling quite a few of these,
Uh,
that's an interesting strategy.
He was in Kansas City for the opening game, and he didn't.
Good Lord, he probably sold 1 trillion of these.
He did not tell me how many he sold, but he said he sold out.
Yeah.
So, but this is a good niche. This was,
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot believe how many different versions of Rushmores that he had. If you were a Steelers fan, he had every
wow.
Super Bowl. He had every Super Bowl winning team of
Smart.
of the Steelers. He had
Steve, I think if you're talking about the same print that I'm thinking of, I agree.
Yeah.
yeah, he had the last what is it, the New England Patriots, and he had the last Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I mean, Scott, if you were there, you would have had every Tom Brady Rushmore
That's
drawing. NFL. He even had NBA and NHL
Wow.
winning teams.
This guy's,
I mean,
busy.
this guy was busy. He said, I asked him, I said, what else do you have coming up? And he said, I got a lot more.
Of course.
And going to Bob McLeod, this is one that he did.
Yeah.
Look
G.I.
at this. This is insane.
This one I wanna attempt to do some coloring on. So I gotta find a place that can scan this for me.
That's a neat idea.
And
That's wild.
and I want to do some coloring.
How
on
big
this.
is that piece, man?
It's on an 11 by 17.
Nice.
Wow.
I used to have a scanner that could have scanned that for you, but it died.
Me too.
That is officially a lot of work, folks.
I'm gonna have to go to FedEx Kinko's.
Yeah.
And expertly inked.
I like where he signed it, too.
Yeah, so do
that's
I.
a good place. That's very cool.
There it is.
Is that
There
what
it is,
Steve is
Steve.
talking about?
That's an
what Steve's
amazing
waiting to
piece.
see. And this is a piece by John Jiang.
This is some boat that's coming out of it's like above the water for some reason.
Oh,
And
not just any boat.
It's
there
like
were
it's just a regular boat that has no significance whatsoever.
Yeah.
and this is the space cruiser Yamato, but John had several pieces, and I mean
phenomenal.
There's the
pieces.
artist. So let me ask you about this, man. After I had like non-buyer's remorse after the convention, I thought I should have bought one of those. Was it even available?
This
Or
was
did
the
you
last
buy the
one.
only?
This was
He
the
bought
last one.
one.
Is it
Wow.
possible that this guy would sell these things online, or is he done with
He
this?
doesn't sell online. He only sells at shows.
Dude, because this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? I got this one because I knew this one was probably going to be scarce in the collection.
Steve breaks our cussing rule here.
Yeah.
You can't blame him on this one, though.
Nope.
man.
No.
And but everyone knows that I'm also a G.I. Joe and Transformers fan. And he had a ton of G.I. Joe and Transformers, and he's a conceptual artist. So these were concept drawings. These didn't look like the way that all of these different characters. He had a Voltron, a concept drawing of Voltron
Oh my
that was
God.
phenomenal.
God, it was gorgeous. Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
this is not a photo accurate version of
No.
Yamato.
And he had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's also done covers for Image Comics for a few comic artists on Image.
Yeah, this guy's insane.
This guy is insane.
Mhm.
And it was like I was flipping through his book, and I would say, I want this picture, and then I'd go turn to the next page. I was like, nope, change my mind. I want this one. Then I turn to the next page. I go, nope, change my mind. I want this one. And that's how great this guy's artwork was. I mean,
Wow.
his rendition of Serpentor from G.I. Joe was so off, as they say, to coin an old phrase,
This was
off the chain.
Yeah.
this is a big print.
Yeah. It's about
It's beautiful.
It's
Like
11 by
18
17.
Is it 11 by 17 or is it an 18 by 24, Walt?
It's not 18 by 24.
Okay.
It may even be an 18 by 12.
Yeah.
But for even better, to let you, that will surprise you even more, Dirk. This is based off of the reboot series
Oh,
because the fighters are from the reboot series.
right.
So
Well, I instantly fell in love with that piece the second I saw it.
I had to have it.
Well, it's just as well then if you got it. It's just as well that you have it, and I don't have to worry about not going over there and trying to find the damn thing because there wasn't one for me to find. So, c'est la vie, Steve. If you had come out there, you might have gotten there before Walt.
me. Yeah, it could have been yours. I'm not sure what this costume is
What is
of,
going on
It's
here?
cool looking.
But
It
it's
is
cool. and it had 4 legs.
Yep.
You can't see the you can't see the legs in the back.
He's
From
got
this.
like a.
She
She has this. What is that?
That's awesome.
I
like
think it
a
was a she,
Hawaiian
by the
lei.
way. Yeah.
She's supposed to be one of the Transformers, Walt?
Mm-mm. I want to say that this is probably from
Kind of like a Warhammer type
like a
thing?
Warhammer or
I'm gonna say.
yeah.
either a video game or a role playing game.
Sorry, buddy. I promise I'll stop at some point.
No, you won't.
I think this is really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It is.
All right. What is this? one?
This is Hasbro is
Ooh,
releasing
that's pretty.
is releasing a Transformer from I think I want to say it's a Star Saber. It's from the last of the like 80s 90s version of the Transformers because after it went off the air here, the Japanese continued our series, and then when that series was done, the Headmaster series, they started doing their own thing. So there were two or three more. There were 2 series after that, and this is the second series after that, which was they did their own thing, kind of started off from scratch and went off on a tangent compared to ours. And this was the main hero of that series. And they're crowdfunding the development of this particular character.
Is that the media thing that kept going on and on? That was like a 10-minute piece or something they were showing.
I think so. Yeah,
all right.
And you can find this on the Hasbro Pulse website because they're really pushing this. They're really, really pushing this.
Ashell has the answer on who that character is. She's
Okay.
from Overwatch.
Overwatch. Okay. Video game.
There you
Okay.
go. Good call, Ashell. Thank you very much.
But this is the prototype of the toy, and I tried to get as many angles of this toy as possible. It's beautiful, even though it's just black and white. And I have this on DVD. You can buy this. You can buy this particular series from Shout Factory. And if I'm not mistaken, this particular character, even though it looks manly, I think this particular character was a female, was a woman.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I like it. All right, I know.
And this is
I know
from,
someone said they would like to put. I think it was Scott that said he'd like to have that sticker.
This was from the Finest cosplay group, and their division here in Dallas showed up. I've shared a few. If you're a follower on the Taskforce Geek Facebook group, I've shared a few of their costumes. So be sure to find them on Facebook, the Finest group. They gave out a lot of free swag. Some of their main costumers have collector cards.
Thank you with the deets there, Ashell.
Orissa.
So
Bonus-
wasn't what I found
Bonus
interesting-
points for deets.
Yes. What I found interesting about this particular Cobra group, what they do for charity is they train dogs to assist veterans.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
So that's another reason to give them a visit.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. That is very cool. There was a dog that was it was a what do you call it? A service dog.
Service dog
that was following someone around. It was a golden retriever. I'm going to say that's the happiest dog I've ever seen in my life. that dog followed at her heel and was looking up at her, wagging his tail, and was prancing. The dog was prancing at all times. He was so happy to be there and be with the girl that he was with. That dog was so happy. I like happy dogs. Oh, there's another picture of the thing.
There's more of the, I think it's, like I said, Star Saber.
Very cool. All right, there's the front of my favorite cosplay.
Yeah.
There's the front view.
Mecha Godzilla.
And there were LED lights, so the lights were glowing, the eyes were glowing,
Right.
and
The whole tail was glowing.
yeah, and a cool trick, every time the guy spoke, when he opened his mouth, the mouth on Mechagodzilla opened as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and
that's
his
cool.
claws worked and everything. I mean, I don't know how he did this.
I knew that this costume was going to be walking around because in order for him to get in this costume, they were out front, outside, parked in front of the building, out in the street,
assembling it.
Assembling
it.
Wow.
And it's all foam. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
it
very,
looks
very
heavy,
lightweight. It's very lightweight. But I bet it was still hot. So, but yeah,
Steve
you
says
can.
that's ridiculous. It really is. That
but
is
you
a
can-
lot of work.
You can see in the cracks there the glowing red LED lights in there.
Yeah,
So,
right in here.
But yeah, the LED
Everyone
lights.
had to have pictures with this guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was awesome.
Yeah.
Gigi says the dog was happy to see me. Everyone was happy to see you.
But yeah, that
Everyone
was
but Steve.
for me. That was probably one of the most innovative costumes there. This is a nice little thing I picked up.
Oh, Dirk, I swear.
Go ahead.
So,
Sorry,
I
Walt.
sincerely love you, Steve. You gotta let me give you some hell over this, man.
so
I wouldn't do this if I didn't love you.
so everybody knows how broke I am, and I broke down and spent kind of sort of ridiculous money to get 3 GI Joe action figures. So definitely hit up my Facebook page and hit me up for some commissions, please.
Right. Help a guy out with an unhealthy habit.
Help a brother out with an unhealthy habit, please.
Help a brother out with his G.I. Joe
This
habit.
was a very cool figure.
Yeah.
Walt came by and showed me these things, and these are, I mean, the detail and the work that goes into all of this stuff. And you get all these extra little doodads, and like I mentioned to him, the
artwork
paintings on these are awesome.
The packaging artwork is legit.
Oh, there's the
HasLab
Victory Saber.
Victory Saber. There you go. Look that up on the Hasbro Pulse website.
Wow.
They're crowdfunding that, and I'm pretty sure like people who chip in get first dibs at this thing. Because the last time I saw this come up, one of their little crowdfunding things was for the Mandalorian ship, and that thing sold out in like 6 hours when it was
the Razor Crest. I mean, you told me about it, and I went to go look at the crowdfunding, and it was already done.
Yeah.
This is Firefly.
This is Firefly.
That's awesome.
Look at that the artwork on the packaging.
That's awesome.
The artwork on the packaging looks like
and
Brian Stelfreeze or something. I know it's not.
Kind of reminded me of Jason Pearson too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's another thing.
Those are both Gaijin guys.
Yeah.
If you go on the Hasbro Pulse website, they do features on the artists for the packaging on these.
Oh,
things.
do they?
Yes, they do.
I will do that
That's
because
cool.
They do.
all of the illustrations I saw on this were really top notch. But look at this.
The detail
All
of the
the
figures
stuff that you
too.
get.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that John Jiang got artist that did the spaceship Yamato.
Yep.
He's got artwork on the barbecue figure coming out from G.I. Joe.
Cool. Very cool.
Here's another cosplayer who was
That's
outside
cool.
the building.
I mean, this guy's committed to this project.
If you zoom in
Starting with the bike.
if you zoom in on his hand, he's got a batarang in his hand.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, and there you go.
Yep, he does.
There it is. Just in case anyone gets too close.
And his name that's on there, that's where you can find him on Instagram.
You might need that in Dallas traffic.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to have a batarang to fling at people.
Want to fight.
There you go. There's his.
That was a sweet bike, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean,
like this.
it had yellow lights down underneath it too. So
Did it? Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of see
Yeah.
it there.
and he's just sitting up there on the sidewalk,
That's
letting
pretty
people
cool.
take pictures. And I just looked at him and said, "Dude, that bike is so badass." And he's like, "Thanks, man." So we're hooked up on Instagram. I, gave him some props on there.
Very cool. That's a picture I took out of my hotel room.
That's a very sweet shot.
That's a great, yeah,
That
it
is
a great picture.
downtown Dallas
Heck
at
of a
night.
view.
If you've never been to Dallas, it's a pretty city, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. I've liked Dallas for a long, long time. Been a fan of, I went there many years ago with my parents and stuff. Been there many, many times, and have been there many times since, both for business and pleasure. It's a very cool city, but it's also it's pretty. I mean, this funky green building here. And they light up stuff. There's another like a ball that's all lit up.
That's
out
the
there.
reunion tower. Oh, by the way, for grins, if you know of any
That's out of the
service,
Omni Hotel.
any service that's streaming the old TV show Dallas,
Oh yeah.
just watch the opening. Like for every season, watch the opening, because they do like these aerial shots of the Dallas skyline, and each year you can see how
Changes a
the
little.
skyline changes.
Yep.
So
Here's
be sure to
something-
do that.
Here's something interesting that you brought that up, Walt. When my mom was still mobile and able to actually get around, I think this was back in 2013, my sister brought her out to Dallas. And Dan and I actually drove her into the city so that she could see it. And I remember her commenting, a comment she made was like, "Oh my God, it really does look like this, just like on the TV show."
It does, yes.
Yeah.
And then we
Steve-
proceeded to take her to South Fork. which she
Yeah.
loved.
Now, South
driven past here.
Fork is a totally odd thing now. If you go out to South Fork now, it's like a flea market.
Oh,
Steve
that's
says he loved Dallas until he lived there for 32 years. Then he was over it. You know, one criticism I can say about Dallas is that at 2 a.m. the traffic is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the traffic is just terrible all the time.
Yeah. That's the reason why, like,
Once you get where you're going, though, it's very cool.
it's funny. Like, people are
Steve
like,
lives 5 miles from South
wow.
Fork.
right. People are like when I
That's
go
pretty
out,
cool.
when I go out, they're like, at 10 o'clock, I'm going home. They're like, what? But the party's just started at 10 o'clock. I
Yeah.
said, I go, and so's the traffic.
Those
Yep.
traffic.
Yeah.
And so, there have been times when I've stayed out all night, and, stay closed down the club at 2 a.m. and I'm stuck in literally stuck in traffic. And mind you, I don't live in Dallas anymore. I live in Fort Worth. So that's a totally different
I'm still
county.
here.
So that's one county over. So imagine having
Yeah.
to be in that traffic
Yeah.
trying to drive one county over.
I think the only place I've ever experienced where the traffic is as bad as it is around here is the DC Metro
Oh, God.
area.
I
Yeah.
imagine that's insane, too.
Las
That's
Vegas.
where I learned how to drive. Yeah, Vegas isn't much better either.
Las Vegas is 24/7. So,
Yeah.
Steve, it
course.
wasn't a big disappointment to my mom because she was like the hugest Dallas fan I'd ever known, and she absolutely loved it. Although she was disappointed that the pool was so small. So now there is a
Steve says he was
17
disappointed with South,
Yeah, because
South
17-year
Fork.
There's a 17-year running joke between Dan and my mom about who's going to throw who in the pool now.
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, because South Fork, when you saw it on TV, it was like it looked like it was really huge, and it really isn't. It really
Tiny.
isn't. It's tiny. Look at the
Uh,
artwork on that package for Major Blood.
That's pretty salty.
That's cool.
Pretty salty. And there's the character.
Where's all this dog tags?
So
Well, they're there.
there they are, right there. So what I learned from the vendor who sold me these is that, these figures were debuted last year. When they first started selling these new classified G.I. Joe classified figures, and he was telling me that that Hasbro had these, the first series done a little more than a year before they released them, and they sat on them because they were scared that they weren't going to sell. And I'm like, what? And these things are so popular that these things are hard to find. I mean, when I see them in the stores, they're practically gone. By the time when they're in the stores, they're practically gone. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why they're afraid to put these in the stores. They should. But basically, they're putting these out there for collectors, and I'm like, I'm glad you're doing that, but I would like you to produce enough of these so that I can buy like more than one,
Well, yeah.
so that I can crack it open and literally, mess with it. Because if I have one, I'm going to be afraid.
You got to leave it
open
in the package.
You got to leave it in
Yeah.
the package. Yeah.
I hear
You know, I want to have more than one so that I can fool around with it.
Well,
You
yeah,
know.
you can't build your ultimate diorama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want a troop build.
This is bite size Vader.
Bite size Vader, yes.
Yeah.
But dead on accurate.
Fun sized.
Fun size Vader, yes. Yes. But hey, I had to have
Still
a
a great
picture-
costume.
That is a great costume.
I had to
It
have a
is.
picture with the oldest muse in my head, so you know.
There's another victory saber.
Walt wanted to make sure you saw this.
Hey, we got to get all the angles.
Yes.
All the angles.
And that's like a
That's cool.
masterpiece.
That was a picture that Rob took of me while we were eating breakfast. I thought that
That's
was
actually a
cool.
pretty good picture.
That's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
I said. I said it was a
The
pretty
whole-
good picture.
The whole composition of it is really
Yep.
neat.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, and then he
sure.
rendered it in black and white. I thought he did a pretty good job on this.
I think that looks
I
like
usually hate pictures of myself,
that looks like
especially
a,
if I don't prepare for them or whatever. But this one was pretty nice.
that
See,
looks
that
like your
was-
next promotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I could use this as a promotional
That's the
piece.
about the author artist.
He's
photo.
taken pictures of me before that I've used on that stuff.
See that's me. I hate pictures, but like
Thank you,
there
Steve.
were probably out of the 30, 35 photos the girl took of me with the supernatural car and the props, there are like 5 or 6 of them that I'm like, oh my god, these pictures are fantastic. And I shared my favorite one with you guys.
I don't share a lot of pictures of myself. So
Yeah.
the fact that he took one picture and it turned out,
Yep.
one that I like is stunning.
Mhm.
And, a testament to Rob. Rob is a professional photographer. And he's known me for a long time. He knows kind of how to compose me or whatever. Anyway, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Let's talk a little bit about we're going into our 12th hour now. If anyone needs to scoot out of here, it's perfectly fine. I wanted to talk a few things about like the business angle on the show. Let me say that, kind of comparing the old versus the new. It'd been a while since I've been to a comic convention at all. And much longer since I've been there as a, not a guest, but as as an exhibitor behind the table, meeting people and all that sort of stuff. This was a huge convention.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
a lot of traffic on Saturday, but this crowd was not there for independent comics. It was not their thing. And I can back that up not just because of us, but because we talked to other independent comic creators who, here's the word that he used, he called the people who were walking up and down the aisles zombies because they did not pay attention to, to the independent comic creators.
Yeah.
I think that I've heard that San Diego has become a hybrid convention where it is, let's say, half, maybe more, media con. So you have the big people, the people from the movies, people from the television shows. And then you also have what we're going to call celebrity cosplayers. So cosplayers that have names. So you have that element of there. And then you also have like the Marvel and DC people. So, if you're Jay Lee, you do gangbusters business. But maybe if you're us, or if you're even Bob McLeod, people are not dropping
Yeah.
by and hammering your deal because they're not big comic fans. They may be
Right.
big fans of Thor, but they're not necessarily big fans of
Reading the
going out
comic
and
book
picking
Thor.
up the Thor comic book. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that in some cases that's what we were dealing with this convention. Talking to Robert said that basically these, like he went to Horror Con, which was here in Oklahoma City, and he said he did pretty good business. He went to Wizard World he went to, what was the one that was in Kansas City a couple of weeks ago?
Planet Comic Con.
Thank you, sir. He went to Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, and he said that he did good business there. So I think that if you are an independent comic creator and you want to get good traffic or good, good response, be sure that you go to a convention that is maybe not mostly MediaCon.
Yeah.
You need something that
Yeah.
pays real good respect to the independent comics crowd, or all of these great people that are there. They're there. On Saturday, there were I don't know how. I would love to know what the numbers were on Saturday. The numbers were pretty good on Friday. They
Yeah.
were pretty good on Sunday, but Saturday it was insane.
Yeah. It was very
insane.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, these aisles that were huge were packed with people, and they weren't necessarily interested in what we were offering, and not just us, but
Yeah.
the other. Because
Yeah.
we talked to
Yeah.
other. I mean, like people that knew Robert from these other shows came over and were saying, we're not doing any business at all. Any business at all. We didn't sell a comic until Sunday.
I was actually surprised at the amount of authors that were there with books. And I was talking with one of them. He had probably 9 to 10 books on his table. And he was even saying that because of the amount that the exhibitors have to spend between, the table fee, if you need electric, if you need access to internet
Yes,
and everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that's more.
He said you really need to have a heck of a follow for an author. You have to have a heck of a following, and you have to have at least 7 to 8 different books to offer the people that are there.
That sounds
Yeah.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine, like, for example, SoonerCon, which goes back a long, long way. SoonerCon's been around for a while, is an author convention. Beth, you should come out to SoonerCon in
Yeah,
about a year.
Let me know when.
Yeah.
About 8 months or something. It is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
June 20th through
geared.
24th.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
I just got an
authors
email from
are front and center.
Uh-huh.
If you do comics, that people will love you and stuff, but I mean, I can't think of any that I know of that is more centered on authors. And the crowd will come out for you and respect you and buy your books and want to talk to you and get your signature. SoonerCon is definitely a good convention for authors. I can only imagine. I mean, we had illustrations and
Yeah.
couldn't get people's attention. I can only imagine what it would be like to just be offering words. Here are some
Yeah.
words for you
So-
guys.
And I
I
was
mean, it's
really
gotta be
surprised at how many
10
how
times
many were
worse.
there. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed.
Steve says that he'll be there, or will he?
So one of the things I've noticed over the years, as far as conventions go, I remember back in the day when going to a convention and everything wasn't so segmented, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yes, they cross-pollinate.
they cross-pollinated. So
That
there was
may be an issue too.
So there was a time when you could be sitting, like you could go over to a table, and I remember the first time I ever saw Stan Lee, at a little bitty comic convention here
Yeah.
in Mesquite, Texas.
Yeah.
And he was at a table all by himself, and then next to him was a guy selling old toys.
Right. That's the way
Yeah.
they did it.
And
Ray
as-
Harryhausen was next
Right.
to a bookseller. Absolutely.
Yeah.
it was cross-pollinated, and I think and I started thinking, when's the last time I saw anything like that? And funny enough, WrestleMania. So WrestleMania has their WWE All Access, which is basically a wrestling convention, and it goes Thursday, Friday, and Sunday right up until WrestleMania takes place. And it's basically, like I said, it's basically a wrestling convention. And you can go in, you can buy stuff and see the wrestlers. And they have this big, huge area where you buy stuff, and not only do they have people where you can stand in line for signings, throughout the whole convention area, same convention center, by the way, at the K. Bailey Hutchinson. They had a place set aside where you can watch shows or whatever, and question and answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're in the area where you're buying stuff, they had 2 places set up where you got to meet the wrestlers and get signatures. So you could be at the checkout line, and right across, like right after you left the checkout line, there are the Usos, where you could just walk right over and then get their signature, or when you walked in, which is also the exit, there they were. You could stand in line, but you're also surrounded by merchandise. So you're like, I can buy this and then go stand in line. It needs to be more intermingled so that everybody.
That would have helped.
It would help.
Yeah.
It would have helped if we were next to one of those cosplayers that had the huge line. And I understand that, maybe the traffic flow is an issue. I mean, they put them in an area where there's a lot of people.
And
if
that's,
they had just put
and
some
that's the problem.
I mean, I don't expect to be next to William Shatner.
No.
But, they could have put some of those people in with us.
And that's the other thing.
So that we weren't an afterthought.
And that's the other thing.
Or that they maybe came over to talk to us while they were waiting to, to talk to the big dogs.
And that's
to be that way.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I noticed about Access and also WrestleCon, because there's 2 wrestling conventions going on at the same time. So the other.
Again, I want to say that this convention was exceptionally well run.
Yeah, definitely.
I felt safe.
Yes.
I felt like that everything was under control.
Right.
That they were on top of everything.
Right.
Things were clean.
Yes. It just needs to it needs to be a little bit more where that everybody can feed off of everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Because I'll tell you something, if I was fitting the bill for a table, I would not be back next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I talked to Robert about, I think you have 2 choices here. You either go bigger or you stay home and put the money towards something else.
Right.
And bigger costs more. I mean, if you want to get, we talked about being in with the retailers, you could maybe get, next to some of those big retailers so that you're in the mix a little bit. Mm-hmm. But, do you have the extra money for that or the time? Hey, Steve says that he's going to wrap it up. That's okay, Steve. I'm just joshing with you. I did really want to.
Steve has a job now.
I did really want to.
Steve has a job.
I did really want to see you, but I also feel like there will be other opportunities to see you, buddy. And we'll see you next time, man. So anyway, thanks for supporting us on the deal, and thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate that, Steve.
Good night, Steve.
Sincerely,
night, Steve.
We will find a time and a way to meet you another time. Let me just say, just to kind of wrap up the thing with the con, because again, it's Steve says he's going to come north. All right.
Nice.
We'd love to have you up here. We got places to eat and stuff here.
Yeah.
We got pretty good Mexican food.
Yeah.
So just to kind of wrap up the con thing, I think that despite the fact that it wasn't, we didn't do gangbusters business and stuff, we did make some contacts with people, absolutely. But the most important thing about this convention was unquestionably getting to reconnect with old friends and to, meet new friends. Friends that, I got a hug from Beth. She promised me I was getting a hug from her, and I got a big hug from her, and it was awesome.
You've done so much to help me, really get. For I told you, I warned you. I said when I see you, you're gonna get a hug, and I made sure you got that hug. I promised that to you.
Yeah. So, and I got to meet Beth's husband, and that was awesome. And
see, he really does exist.
Oh, he does, right? He's not just a
he's not like a figment. He really
not like a figment,
Hey, there's one last thing that I need to show that everybody needs to see, and that was the logo or the
that was cool.
Yeah,
that was the was the artwork for the show. So
Cool.
it was very cool. And I think they sold posters of that. And if they did, I'm sad that I didn't get one. So
Right. And I want to also say that, you know, I got a chance to talk to Mike. I hadn't got a chance to talk to Mike. Mike roomed with me at the deal. You know, Mike I've known for over 30 years. And it was great to be able to, you know, reconnect with Mike and get some old stories and talk about comics and talk about new stuff, you know, maybe talking about working together on some new things. So look, I think that that's the real power of the convention. A shell came down. That was really cool. You know, it was, these things are a nexus of activity, and it's just the way that it used to be. It used to be an opportunity for all of us to get together and make some new memories. We made some good memories and some bad memories on this thing. You know, some of our eating out was ridiculous.
We started.
On the other hand,
let's not discuss that.
some of our eating out was amazing. I mean,
yeah.
you know, so we had the, you know, we had the good and the bad on that sort of thing. I know that you all got together, you ladies got together, did some swimming and stuff, and you created some memories there and stuff. So anyway, I just want to say, you know, that element of it absolutely felt exactly like it did 10 years ago or 25 years ago at San Diego. It absolutely felt like a great opportunity to either reconnect or to create new memories with new friends, and that was truly something special about this trip.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
What I want to do here before we wrap things up, because we got to do a truncated version of our promotion stuff, or this is going to go into like midnight or something, which is absurd. So what I want to do is just take a moment and go back through some of the stuff for our guests. Marrk Mulgrave showed up. I want to make sure that he gets his due. Go over to his Indiegogo, please, and support him there. Steve's not watching anymore, but Steve, he needs your help, man. Get over there, help us out. Fortunately, Mark is fully funded, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't hit some stretch goals and stuff.
Sure.
So, and this is I love the concept on this. He's got a kind of a thing, you know, like a Dungeons and Dragons element to this with superheroes. That's a pretty neat combination. That's way up my alley. So please go support Mark. That's his name there, if you want to do that. We do appreciate him being on the show. Also, let's not forget the Heartland Blood Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
And Vance Launchpad. Please get over there and support Vance Launchpad. What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
I know, right?
How is that not doing gangbuster? Why is it that resounded so strongly with me and like no one else on the earth?
I think it's the pounds is scaring people.
I think I agree with
not
Walt.
that
Well, maybe they need to mention something about that. People are worried about the exchange rate. It's $6.
It is on the website.
It is.
They do mention that.
Down. Yeah.
All
If you do the book with the print, it's with shipping. It's like $16 for everything.
Yep.
And finally, Robert was also on tonight. There's the Kickstarter for that. It's Bad Candy 3. I have a cover on there.
It's a good cover.
Thank you.
An awesome cover. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go look at it after the show.
So there's all of the Kickstarter. We had 3 Kickstarters. 4 actually that we were promoting tonight. Like I said, let's go through this really quick, folks. Mike, I don't think I have your links, so think about that for just a minute. Here is Beth's.
Yeah.
Here is Beth's links. I'm going to let those run through here really quick. Beth, tell them where to find you.
If you're looking for my editing and website services, you can find me on themusesfunhouse.com. If you're looking for my books because you kind of want to read what I've got going on, or you want to check out some of my interviews and stuff, you can find me at bethannfreely.com. And if you want to connect on social media, hit me up on Twitter at BAFreely. I tend to use that one more than the others.
Walt, let's stick with this one tonight.
All right, you can find me at facebook.com. What Walter Cons? I have just listed pricing for my commissions on there. You can watch me playing video games at twitch.tv/Gatchaman_1. You can buy my stuff at Zazzle.com stores, What Studio Art. And I got some really cool t-shirts and whatnot on there, even some shoes and pillows and stickers. Everybody loves stickers.
And onesies.
And you can get me at my blog spot at whatstudioart.blogspot.com. And
You can get one of these.
get one of those too, that coffee mug.
One of
right?
those. Okay.
So
Mike, I don't have your stuff. Tell us where to find you, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can find me on Facebook under one of the many Mike Kennedys, or I'd actually just link it through Taskforce Geeks. I'm also on Instagram under
Right,
Hunter
send
Rose
that stuff to me,
62.
and I'll put it on the I'll
Okay.
put it on the
I
details.
will. Okay, yeah, Hunter Rose 62 on Instagram, and I'm trying to look at the other stuff, so I'll just send it all to you.
Send it all to us. I mean, Mike's a friend of the show. This won't be the last time that he's on here, and we will have on the details for the show. So if you're interested, you can find Mike. Mike is he's producing 1 trillion comics right now. He produced 2 more comics while we were here tonight.
I know. I have one here on my table. It's not going to get published, but it's actually a project for school right now. So
Oh, cool! Yeah, Mike teaches
maybe,
school.
but
How would you like to have Mike as your art teacher?
Dude.
I do
How
do
cool
a-
is
I do
that?
do a- I actually do a comic.
I
book
had
art,
some hippie guy that
workshop.
wanted me to draw like clouds or some crap. Mike has
Really?
you draw superhero. Yes, it was. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
inspirational, folks.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not even going to share my stuff. I'm going to be offering some prints that I had from the show, but we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah,
Not
I did
that
a
important.
6-week course this summer that went really well. So we had the guys in the workshop were all at different stages of their artistic adventure, and hopefully I helped push them along. They seemed to have a good time. I was able to fill 2 hours a week, so that's a good thing.
I have to imagine that you're probably the most fun that those kids have all day.
Okay,
You're
sure,
pretty
I'll go
cool
with
as
that.
far. You're pretty cool for an art teacher. I mean, come on. You're not,
Well, I can't-
doing silly stuff. You're doing cool stuff.
Yeah, I get my coworkers from last year have what was it, a week and a half ago, all sent me out kudos to my kids that they got this year in their classes.
Right?
So and I did get the when are you coming back? So we'll see how that goes.
That's a good sign
that's a good sign.
Oh yes,
for sure.
yeah.
So,
it was a lot of fun. I like those kids. So.
One final thing I want to say is Beth and Walt are going to be on Spoiler Alert on Thursday. I will be too. We'll be isn't it Thor this week?
It's
Yeah.
Thor this week.
Thor this
Thor
week.
Yeah.
Thor drops on Wednesday, and we'll be here Thursday, 3:00 Central Time.
In fact, if you want to
Assuming that there are no problems.
get specific, it's tomorrow at 3 a.m. So
Oh, well,
yeah.
there you go.
I might be up
because
before
when the
I go to school,
when the episode
I'm
drops,
probably not going to make that, but so in any case, you can join us live again, 3 p.m. Central.
Yay.
Unless you're Steve, and then you can just blow us off.
Yeah, well, he'll be working. All right.
yeah,
I know he's got a jobby job now.
he's got a job.
So
We're going to see if he's really not watching.
So he can't fill in for you anymore, Dirk.
I know that's rotten. He was
Hey, Walt and
he
I,
was good.
Walt,
Unless we're in the evening or something.
Yeah,
Walt and I got it covered and got the job done with spades last weekend.
You sure did.
You did.
I didn't get to
Yeah,
watch it
great.
because it would have killed my data plan to watch it. Hey, thanks to on the convention. Thanks again to Jeree. Thanks to Robert. Thanks to
Yes.
Sean for giving us some assets and stuff to show at the deal. And thanks to these 3 cats right here for being on the show tonight, and also for just being cool people. Appreciate it. Really, really good to see you guys in the flesh, so to speak.
It was a blast.
Yes,
It was.
it sure was.
It
It really
was.
was. So thanks to Beth, thanks to Walt, thanks to Mike, Thanks to everyone else who watched tonight. We sure do appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. We still have people that are watching live, which is insane.
Yeah.
You guys should go to bed. Go to bed.
It's bedtime.
Thanks to everyone for watching us. We sure do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Dirk Hooper saying dream hard.